So Sonny Gray, the former New York Yankee, spent a year and a half with the Bronx Bombers. Back-to-back starts of 7 innings for Sonny Gray.
Yeah, and Sonny's going to throw a lot of sweepers today. He's got a good fastball, high-effort pitcher. He's going to be in the low 90s, but he's going to work that sweeper a lot today. We're going to see how it works against these Yankee Bombers.
First pitch to Trent Grisham is high for ball 1. Pretty big arsenal for Sonny as well, and he distributes them evenly.
We're going to see 7 different pitches from both of these starting pitchers today. You're going to see the kitchen sink.
Grisham towards right. That's past Donovan. That's past the second baseman, I should say, into right field for a knock. And right away, Trent Grisham is on base. That'll bring up Ben Rice.
Bueno, you talked about all the sweepers and cutters and curveballs and sliders that Sonny Gray throws. He's been successful with those, but his fastball has been getting hit this year. As a pitcher, how do you combat that? Do you just have to go to your breaking ball at all times?
Well, I mean, I don't think so. I think right now he's just more comfortable with some of the breaking balls, but he still has a very good cutter. He still has a very good four-seam fastball, and look, he's going to locate it if he pitches well.
He's quickly behind of Ben Rice 2-0, so we've seen 3 fastballs out of the zone upstairs so far from Sonny.
You can't ever just give up on pitches, though, AJ, if it's workshopping it in the bullpen between starts or whatever. But sometimes in a game, sometimes you do have to cut bait on something and go to another pitch.
3-0 on Rice.
I talked to Sonny before the game yesterday, and I said, what fires you up about pitching against the Yankees? He said, man, this is a big broadcast, big-time team, franchise. It's franchise stuff. He was fired up about this matchup.
I'll tell you what he's not fired up about. Aaron Judge with first and second and nobody out in the first inning.
A Grisham single, a Rice walk, and now Judge with 2 men on base. Strength on strength in this matchup coming up.
It is. I was fascinated by this. Now we look, Sonny Gray's best pitch in his arsenal right now is that great sweeper. He's got more sweeper outs than anybody in the big leagues, but that's Aaron Judge's specialty as far as breaking balls.
First pitch is a breaking ball hit to left down the line. Fair ball. Yankees lead. Grisham is in. Rice is right behind him, and Aaron Judge will drive home 1. Rice will hold up at third, and it's 1-0 New York in the first. Just as they did yesterday, they strike early.
We couldn't even get the graphic out there about a breaking ball. This was more of a cutter, a smaller breaking ball, but it didn't do much.
Yeah.
Just didn't do much. It was up, and Aaron Judge is ready for it.
He's had success with that cutter against Aaron Judge in the past, but he just leaves that up, and you can tell when Aaron starts driving that ball that's away from him like that, not pulling off of it, he's very dangerous.
So he's in scoring position. Jazz Chisholm was the reason that the Yankees had a crooked number in the first yesterday. Hit a 2-run home run in the first as part of a 3-run frame. He takes a strike from Gray.
Friday, and Saturday.
21st home run of the year last night for Chisholm, who waves through that good changeup from Sonny, and it's 0-2.
That's the Aaron Judge the Yankees need. We talked about it just a couple minutes ago in the open on the show. They need Aaron Judge to be the MVP. Aaron Judge, injured or not, I know he's got the elbow issue. They say it's fine. He's back to throwing. He's got a chance to play right field not that long from now. But they need him to be great if they're going to have a chance at the division, which looks tough, but definitely to do some damage if they get in as a wild card at least.
He's only been back for about 11 days from that right flexor strain, as Chisholm goes chasing at that sweeper in the dirt for out number 1.
Doesn't happen often to great pitchers, but if you're going to get the great pitchers, sometimes you got to get them early, because as they settle in, they're going to be very dangerous. And you can see Sonny now settling in, that breaking ball is starting to find good rhythm to it, starting to bounce it when he wants to.
Now the switch hitting Jason Dominguez will take upstairs. So those fastballs to start off some of these at-bats have been a little off.
His fastball's been tough so far. He's thrown 1 fastball for a strike. He got hit for a single by Grisham, the leadoff hitter. After that, he's thrown them all for balls.
2 on 1 out, and that is through the left side, a base hit. Dominguez will drive Rice in, and it's 2-0 New York. So Dominguez, who had come into this series in a little bit of a mini slump, has hits in each of the first 2 games and RBIs in each of the first 2 games of this set.
This is just a nice piece of hitting here by Jason Dominguez. Breaking ball out over the plate. He stays on it. Curveball, just shoots it through the 5-6 hole. That's what you got to do with the infield back. Runners on second and third. Put the ball in play. Drive in a run.
Several of these Yankee hitters are tough matchups for Sonny because Jason Dominguez is a very good down ball hitter and he's a very good breaking ball hitter. You see what he does right there. He's able to take it to all fields. That's always the tough part, isn't it, AJ? When you match up against a team or a player that maybe their strength matches up against your strength, it's always walking that line of knowing when to get off that strength and go somewhere else.
Yeah, but you also have to pitch with your strength, and you have to, so maybe throw it lower like you did to Jazz. Bounce it, right? They're looking for a down, bounce it.
That's right.
Make them chase. Don't throw it for a strike. I mean, if Sonny doesn't throw his fastball for a strike, it could be a short outing for him like we haven't seen so far. So right here, he's got to get out of this, hold him to 2. Wouldn't be surprised if Dominguez tries to steal second to take away the double play.
With Anthony Volpe at the plate. Big cut on a fastball there from Volpe, who's had an up and down stretch over the last month. Been highly publicized with some of his defensive miscues back in July, but for the most part has cleaned a lot of that up. Hasn't hit for much average lately, but has hit for power. Fouls that one back. It's 0-2.
You can see how late he was on the fastball, the first pitch, and how timed up he was for the sweeper on pitch number 2. They may be sitting slow.
Yes, but also they watch the game. They're like, Sonny Gray hasn't thrown a strike with a fastball. Why would I look for it? And he threw a fastball right by him. And then, yes, they all are on the breaking balls.
There goes Dominguez. He did take off, and it is a foul tip. At least that's what Volpe is arguing. Otherwise, he'd be out. Dominguez would be able to stay at second base. Now Volpe, who's still questioning it, wondering if Aaron Boone is going to challenge this.
Well, they're wondering, he foul tipped it if it hit the ground. It did not. No. But I love that the umpire, Vic Carapazzo, looked at the ball for a scuff. If I'm Pages the catcher, that ball's
Yeah.
Yeah, never hit the ground, so it'd be an out anyway. Dominguez would be at second base, and that's going to end up being the case after all that. Dominguez gets the steal. Volpe strikes out. It's the second Sonny Gray K, and there are 2 away. Now here's Ryan McMahon, acquired from Colorado, playing his 19th game with the New York Yankees. All-star last season with the Rockies. A high strikeout number for McMahon, but he did have 2 walks yesterday with a double. Judge got it started with an RBI double. Yankees add another run, and it's 2-1 on McMahon. Upstairs again on that fastball, 3-1.
just continues to struggle throwing with location, especially with the fastball.
McMahon is a guy, if you can locate something on the outer third of the plate, he has a very hard time staying out on those pitches.
3-2.
But in these big situations like this, and you're not locating your fastball, to answer your question from earlier, AJ, now you've got to do whatever you need to do to get out of this inning. You can readjust between the next inning, but you've got to do whatever you have to do to get out of this inning now if you're Sonny Gray.
He's already hit 20 pitches in this first inning. McMahon shoots it down the first base line, but pulled it foul.
But see, here's the thing: if I'm on the Yankees right now and I'm watching this first inning, you mentioned it with Volpe, I'm not looking for a fastball. He threw a 3-1 breaking ball to McMahon, threw a 3-2 sweeper to him. Right, he's gotten his outs with breaking balls. he has shown he cannot locate a fastball. So if you're one of these Yankee hitters, and they've done a good job of it, Dominguez did it, Judge did it, you almost have to go up there and look for a breaking ball. Now you're 3-2, you got anything could come, but if I'm guessing something soft.
Aaron Boone looks on, and so does Ryan McMahon, and a sinker at the bottom of the zone to end the inning. Gray limits it to 2 runs, but Judge gets the Yankees on the board and gives Max Fried some cushion. Two 2-0 Yankees have the lead, staking Max Fried to an advantage as we get set for the bottom of the first inning. Cardinals offensively look like this. They shift a little bit in their lineup. Mason Wynn goes up to the leadoff spot after Lars Nootbaar had to step in for the injured Brendan Donovan. No Donovan, no Wilson Contreras in the lineup. See, Thomas Sujasi is in at second base once again. And here is Max Fried, who's trying to get out of this little funk he's been in as of late.
We're going to see a lot of cutters out of Max Fried today. This is a pitch that he uses 31% of the time this year, that he used 4% of the time last year. Huge jump in that. Nasty big over the top curveball. And 5 other pitches mixed in there, but a lot of cutter 4-seam combo is what we're going to see today.
Facing Mason Wynn, excellent Cardinal defensive shortstop.
Wait, no, I have a question for you about this. See the major difference in this? Cutters, more cutters, less four-seamer. He was a north and south guy. High four-seam, curveball. Now he's kind of gone side to side with cutters, more sinkers, you know, things like that. How hard is for that as a pitcher to just do in the middle of an offseason or in spring training?
Well, it was a developing project. Their pitching coach reached out to him and said, let's go over what you have. Let's look at what you have. Let's look at the shapes they are and why they are, and let's build off of that. What do you throw?
On the ground to third. Picked up by McMahon and one away.
What is it that you throw that you could be throwing more that you would get more outs? And the answer to that quickly was a cutter. And he's thrown a four-seamer for his whole career, and it's always got that pull cut. And they said, all right, let's make your fastball, which still has a little cut to it. But let's make your fastball, and let's make your cutter your more established cutter that has an actual intentional break. And you see the results, AJ. The results speak for themselves. I mean, Max Fried has always been a great pitcher, but he's really turned a corner this year with the command of that pitch, especially, and how he's worked it with his four-seam and his great curveball combination has been really, really fun to watch.
Alec Burleson will take a breaking ball. Clips the corner according to Fox Box, but the count is even at a ball and a strike.
So
And today, what we see early, he got behind the first batter, but his pitching coach and manager Aaron Boone, they talked. He needs strike one. He's really got to get strike one, and so much of his problem the last 7 starts for Max has been trying to force pitches into areas instead of just being relaxed and trusting it and throwing it there. And that's what he did the first half that he's not done so far since.
With a 2-1 on the Cardinal first baseman, who lifts it to left. Dominguez started back, came in and misplays it. All the way into the corner. Here comes Burleson. Finally dug out by Dominguez. And 3 bases for Alec. Defensive miscues have been a dubious headline for the Yankee defense going back to last postseason. Those miscues have reared their ugly head here in the first.
Well, this is a tough play. This is a lefty. It's slicing away from Dominguez. He's got to pull up about 2 steps earlier and not let the ball get by him. I know he's trying to catch that in the air, but there comes a point where you realize, hey, I'm not catching it, and then he drops it, which allows Burleson to get to third. But you just got to accept the single, Wayno. Give me the single.
First pitch swinging, Ivan Herrera, one of the Cardinals' best hitters this year, drives in Burleson, and it's a 2-1 ball game in the first. A rocket from Herrera.
No matter what happens with Herrera out there on the bases now, that's a huge run for the Cardinals to get back into this game against a great pitcher like Max Fried. Ivan Herrera very aggressive, especially to the fastball. He just drives that to right field.
There's Lars Nootbaar, who takes a breaking ball up and in.
You know, I wanted to ask him, we were talking about the difference in what he did last year and his years past Max Fried to what he's doing now. Do you think the hitters made an adjustment, or do you think that Max Fried has just been missing too much location, kind of like what we saw on that hit by Herrera? Which one do you think it is more of?
No, I think it's Max. I definitely think it's Max. He's put himself in bad counts. He's put himself in long counts. He's had a lot more long counts this year. First half, he was pounding the strike zone, pitching deeper into games, staying ahead in the counts, getting strike one routinely. The last 7 starts, it's been the other way around, and you can see him forcing the ball. If you watch his film, he's just not trusting his location and the ability to just fire a ball into where he's trying to throw it. He's trying to really force it in there, and that can be very hard. And that happens to everybody. I don't care who you are at the big league level. It happens to everybody at some point.
Even a 31-year-old who's put up a great resume in his major league career already. Tried the bottom of the zone and just missed it. You see the separation between the first 17 starts of the season relative to the last 7. Maybe the solution is to face a team like St. Louis, who he's dominated in his career, but AJ, that was the first run he's given up at Busch in his career. Fouled back.
Well, he's owned the Cardinals in his career. 5-0 with a 1. That's the first earned run he's ever given up at Busch Stadium.
That's amazing.
5-0 with a 1.14 ERA, 6 appearances, 5 starts. And for any pitcher who's at least thrown 5 starts against St. Louis in its long and storied history, he's got the lowest ERA of all time.
Cardinals are thinking, we already won. We scored.
Yeah, right around average. 2-2 pitches high. That's been St. Louis's offense really since the All-Star break. They've scored the fewest runs of any team in Major League Baseball since the break. Just 86 of them. So that's about 4.3. Major League average is 4.4. So Ollie Marmol's team is looking for a little bit of a boost offensively as they deal without Nolan Arenado, who's dealing with a shoulder issue. And again, no Brendan Donovan, no Wilson Contreras. Contreras could be back in the lineup tomorrow. He fouled a pitch, or got hit by a pitch again earlier this week. Meanwhile, Brendan Donovan has been nursing a toe injury that has turned into 2 or 3 other ailments over the last month. Good pitch by Fried, paints the corner with a fastball to retire Nootbaar. They're 2 away.
Yeah, I want you to look at the contrast of what I'm trying to say. When you're trying to force a pitch to an area with your body instead of throwing it there with a quick arm, you can see The pitch before, when he tried to throw the sweeper, he really tried to help it over there with his front side and his body, and he kind of hung it out, left it up in the zone. That one right there, he just believed it, trusted it, and drove it right there to the down and away spot. There's nothing you can do with that pitch.
About as perfectly placed of a fastball as you can have and still be a strike. So 2 down for Walker. Maybe he can catch up to the fastball. He's got one of the quickest bats in Major League Baseball. That quick swing with those quick hands. Fouls that one that was coming in on him on the cutter.
Yeah, he might have one of the quickest swings in baseball. You don't want to swing at that pitch. That pitch is way off the plate, and there's nothing you can do about three things with that pitch. 1, swing and miss. 2, hit it off your shin, or do what he did and pull it foul. That if you're facing Max Fried and you're a right-handed hitter, you got to push the ball out away from you. You cannot swing at that ball in. It's death.
Walker takes a breaking ball into left. Dominguez this time is going to field it cleanly. And the inning is over, but the Cardinals get a run back. Both teams on the board in the first inning. Aaron Judge had an RBI in the opening frame. Ivan Herrera drove in Burleson after he tripled in that first inning. An eventful first frame. Sonny Gray, back-to-back 7-inning outings against the Dodgers and the Cubs. Ken Rosenthal has more on the right hand.
Well, Adam, to this point, Sonny Gray has been unwilling to waive his no-trade clause, but his stance this offseason might change. Gray turns 36 in November, and he still feels he can be productive. He wants one more crack at winning, one more shot at the postseason. And these last 3 starts, including this one, they've all been high profile. At Dodger Stadium, Cubs on Sunday Night Baseball, here on Fox tonight. And he said, as Adam Wainwright mentioned earlier, these kinds of games get his juices flowing. He said, I do want those moments more. They're fun for me.
This is a guy who tonight is making career start number 323 in the regular season, but he's only made 6 starts in the playoffs, the last coming with the Twins 2 years ago. He wants another chance to be in the postseason. So do these 2 teams. Wells pops it up right side. It'll be Thomas Sujasi. He's taking that spot for the injured Brendan Donovan at second for out number 1. So 1 down in the second, and already the number 9 hitter for the Yankees is up. That's Jose Caballero. He'll take that fastball in there for a strike. Acquired from Tampa Bay was Caballero. Added to the active roster a couple of weeks ago. Great speedster, one of the top base stealers in all of Major League Baseball, right up there with Jose Ramirez for the league lead. And he takes a breaking ball into center field. Well struck. Back on it is Scott, all the way to the track. And he makes the catch. Excellent defender with great speed, is able to track that one down to the deep part of center field. 2 down.
Man, this ball carried. When he hit it, I thought it was right at Scott. But then all of a sudden, he just sprints backwards, makes a really nice catch. Crashing into the wall. Hanging breaking ball doesn't do much. Caballero was out front. Missed this. Waino, he did not.
Well, you know, the Busch Stadium has been known to be a hitter's park, AJ.
Yeah, all the time. That's what everyone says.
They've always said that.
When they come to Busch Stadium, they're like, huh, it's like Cincinnati.
Back to the top of the order. Trent Grisham. This year, the park factor is neutral. Whatever, you want to take that with a grain of salt. I'm sure Waino will.
Very neutral. I think it's a fair park.
It is. This year, it's been one of the more fair parks in baseball. 2 good pitches from Sonny Gray to get ahead of Trent Grisham. 0-2.
And that's key for Trent Grisham because Trent has a great idea of the strike zone. Never swings off the plate hardly ever. You have to get him in the strike zone. If you're going to get him looking, you have to throw ball to strike because that's what he takes. If you're going to get him swinging, it's got to look strike to ball. So something's got to look real tasty down the middle and then dive out of the zone.
See a career high 21 home runs. He's closing in on a milestone. His next hit will be number 500. Had to take a tough breaking ball. Although that was strike to ball. So kind of that's the opposite of what you were talking about.
Well, that's how you get him swinging. That was just a great take by Trent Grisham right there.
Who does have 53 walks, second on the team. And a breaking ball is hit number 500 in the career of Trent Grisham. It's into the corner. He'll take a big turn before Walker slings it back. 2 for 2 is Grisham, and congratulations on that milestone. And he did it with 2 strikes.
He did. And the take on with 2 strikes, this 0-2 count, look how close that is. Now watch how similar this next one is, though. It's almost in the same spot. It's just a tick higher. And because it was a tick higher, it allowed him to get the barrel to it.
So Grisham extends the inning for Ben Rice, who takes a strike. Now Gray getting some first pitch strikes. That's in fact 6 straight. Gray has gotten ahead of a hitter now.
Well, he's one of the highest first pitch strike guys in all of Major League Baseball. 64%. He's in the top 10 in the National League. He goes right after guys.
And it's helped his efficiency this year as he gets a high strike there. Remember, this is the guy who's thrown a complete game shutout, which is a rarity more and more so in Major League Baseball. His was on 89 pitches. He tossed a Maddox in late June against Cleveland. And he's only averaging about 3.5 pitches per plate appearance. So the Yankees really made him work considering where Gray usually is at his best. And he's starting to settle in a little bit now.
That was the 2nd best game score in the history of Cardinals pitching.
Incredible.
Think about that.
Check swing from Rice. Appeal down to third. No swing.
That's including Bob Gibson. That's including, I mean, there's been some really great pitchers here in St. Louis. The 2nd best of all time here. That's how good that game was.
11 strikeout game that day against Cleveland for Sonny Gray.
That's hard to fathom. 11 strikeouts and 89 pitches.
Yeah. Really efficient. That's about as efficient as you get. 1-2 pitch is high, 2-2. Grisham was held to a single because of Walker. Able to cut it off. Count runs full now.
Walker made a great play on that ball.
He did.
Might go unnoticed, but Jordan Walker, here's the thing. He cuts his ball off. Grisham can't get to second. He's speedy, and all he does is he gets it and he gets it in. It's not an accurate throw. Doesn't matter. Stops the base runner. Really nice play.
Runner goes on a payoff. It is a nasty breaking ball that clips the bottom of the zone for called strike 3. So 4 strikeouts to the first 2 frames for Gray. home half of the second inning. Cardinals come to bat against Max Fried. Nolan Gorman will lead things off. And a sweeper is in there for a strike. Gorman is getting a shot at third base with Arenado out, dealing with a shoulder injury. Arenado went to the IL at the beginning of August. He'd been playing through a shoulder strain for a little while. He was hoping to be back on Monday when the Cardinals begin a Florida trip. They're going to play Miami and Tampa coming up for the next 2 series, but Ollie Marmol said earlier this week that that won't be the case, so they're going to wait a little bit longer as Arenado continues to rehab through the injury down in Florida. So Sujasi and Gorman have been the main third baseman in his absence. It's a big opportunity for Nolan Gorman and a lot of these young St. Louis Cardinal players. Development has taken the mantle as the main focus. It's been one of the big focuses this year, but it's really going to be the key for a lot of the young guys who are going to get some major at bats and still playing meaningful games right now as the Cardinals are still in the wild card chase.
Man, Max Fried is really trying to just dot that down and away to these left-handed hitters. He is trying.
He was trying for that same spot. Yanks a fastball. It's a walk for Nolan Gorman to lead off this Cardinals second. So give me a sense, Wayno, about what's unique about Max Fried's hand.
Yeah, so Max Fried, I talked to Matt Blake, their Yankees pitching coach, before the game for 20 minutes about pitch grips and why they were making changes and stuff. But you can tell Max Fried has a very, very long middle finger. And as somebody who dealt with that myself, it can be a complicating thing.
So JC takes a strike.
So when you have a long middle finger like that, it wants to take over in all your pitches. It wants to take over on your sinker, and so sometimes you have a harder time pronating the ball, getting that ball to ride off of that finger, because really on a sinker or something like that, you want it to roll off your index finger a little bit more than your middle finger, but it can be tough when you have a long middle finger.
Breaking ball out to center. Grisham coming on, now stops. He's got it for out number 1. Back to first base goes Gorman. So now with the magic of television, Wayno, show us what you're talking about.
Yeah, so guys with middle fingers that are really long, especially like Max Fried, myself, guys, you tend to throw breaking balls, cutters more than you tend to throw sinkers and changeups because of the way your hand is shaped. And Matt Blake was showing me how they had to, in the camera, they had to break it down really slow and figure out exactly the seam orientation on his fingers to get the exact spin that he needed for his four-seamer and for his cutter. And so what they did, they ended up turning the ball around. He used to throw his four-seamer and his cutter on the same side of the ball. Well, now he throws his cutter on the same side, but he turns it a little bit more so that he can round it on the outside of that middle finger more. And on his four-seamer, to make it a separate pitch, which is really smart, he turns it over and he throws his four-seamer on this side. Because if you throw 2 pitches with very similar grips, a lot of times they'll morph and you'll throw kind of a tweener of both. But because he has 2 different grips and he has anchor points on those seams that he can really pull off of, he's able to get and maximize the spin on both those pitches.
Thank you for that breakdown, Bud. Very nuanced stuff here. The other way goes Pages, and that's into right field. On to second base goes Gorman. So 2 on with 1 out against Fried here in the Cardinals second.
Why would he change? My question is, why? He's been pretty good.
Yeah.
He was pretty good with the Braves his entire career. Why would he make those changes? Why not just go with what he's been doing?
Well, I think you said it perfectly. He's been pretty good. He's been good. He's been good. He wants to be great, and that's the great thing about #1 pitchers in the big leagues. You're never satisfied, so you always have a framework of who you are as a pitcher, but you always look outside the framework to what could it possibly be to make me take the next step, and that's what Max has done.
Here is the speedster Victor Scott, only 1 away with 2 on, and a Baltimore chop over the drawn-in McMahon in the left field. Here comes Gorman, and this game is tied. Back-to-back nights for Victor Scott with an RBI. And this game is tied at 2, so the Cardinals taking advantage of some Max Fried strikes over the plate.
Well, the last 2 hits have not been hit very hard. This ball is just chopped over McMahon. You can kind of see McMahon. He has to play in because Victor Scott is fast and will bunt. Just chops it over his head. Easy read. Pop Warner, the third base coach, waves him home. The last 2 hits have not been hit very hard by the Cardinals, but they have found the right placement.
It's actually surprising with the rain we had earlier that they got that bounce.
Back to the top of the order and Mason Wynn. First and second and still only 1 out. It rained very heavily about 2.5 hours before game time. You can see the infield dirt a little bit too, has soaked up some of that moisture. Check back to second on Pages.
So I don't think Pages is going anywhere, but
exactly.
Catchers don't run a whole lot unless there's Rio Muto or Big Dumper, Cal Raleigh this year. But wait, I want to go back to the Max Fried conversation because it fascinates me as a non-pitcher. He was 73 and 36 with the Braves with a 3.07 ERA.
Yeah,
that's pretty good. That's pretty really good.
Yeah.
Well, I get why he wants to be great, but why not just refine what he's been doing instead of doing a whole overhaul?
Well, what's his numbers this year?
Well, he's 12 and 5 with a 2.94.
Okay, but he was at the break. He had a 2.04. He was rolling, and that's how he'll finish. He'll stop.
In the air, deep left field. Mason Wynn crushes one towards the pole. It is gone, and the Cardinals, with a big second inning, have taken the lead.
Little cutter doesn't get there.
Yep.
Mason Wynn just beats it to the spot. Doesn't get in, doesn't get off the plate. Not a lot of movement, not a lot of horizontal that they talk about now, Wayno. Mason Wynn was looking for it in there, gets it over the plate, and hits it out over there to Big Mac land.
Strike to Burleson. It's only the third home run of the 9 that Wynn has hit this year. That was a good swing. That cutter in.
As great a season as Mason Wynn's having defensively, and he's having a very good, solid year at the plate as well. The one guy he talked about before the game, having the potential to be even greater was Mason Wynn. Oliver Marmol said Mason Wynn is a potential 300 super big impact bat on their lineup. He's got that potential.
And to do it from the shortstop spot, very valuable as well. Fouled away, Burleson a defensive swing to stay alive. Wynn has been a very good clutch hitter. He's been good with runners in scoring position this year. And metrically ranked as one of the best defenders at any position in all of baseball.
Again, just that doesn't do much. It's a cutter. It's 94. But it just doesn't do a whole lot. There's not a lot of movement on that ball, Wayno. It pretty much stays inner third-ish with not a lot of sideways.
Yeah, so you can tell he's in that weird space where when he throws it to the location he wants to, he's guiding it in there. And when he's trying so hard, like you said earlier, he's trying. You're trying like that and you're trying to force things around. Your body's out there. You lose all that out front rotation, that good spin. It all happens at the very, very last second of the pitch. At the very end, right before the release, that's where all the good stuff happens, way out there in front on top of the ball. And he's just not getting to that good spot right now.
Burleson a triple in the first. It was his first of the season and only the second of his career. He goes down swinging on that fastball from Fried. Second strikeout for Max, both on the fastball today. And there are 2 down in the second.
Okay, then I'll ask the follow-up question. With all the things you're talking about, a finish and out front, how do you fix that mid-game if you're a pitcher?
Well, you have keys. Pitchers should have a couple of keys, small things that help them get back on track. some days you can't find them. Other days you find them right away, but you've got to have a couple of keys to help you get back on track.
Strike to Herrera.
For me, it was I had to be a guy. I had to feel like I was releasing the ball. I had to get the ball moving out of my glove a little sooner. When I was late like that, when my arm was dragging, I had to get the ball out of my glove a little sooner. And if that didn't work, I had to try to see the ball in front of my face. That upon release, that's kind of crazy. You're not going to be able to see the ball come out of your hand, but it trains your body to make sure everything gets out front and on top.
Just the nuances, and I imagine that just comes with experience, to know yourself, know your mechanics, know how to make the adjustment as you get midway through a game. You go around, he did not.
And you can know your mechanics, and you can know your keys. And AJ, I'm sure it's like this at the plate too, but you're going to have some starts through the year that you're wondering, where the heck did my stuff go? I lost feel for this pitch or this, my mechanics. It just is the way it is, a long season.
1-2 pitch to Herrera is inside to even the count.
Yeah, as a hitter, you go one game, you 4 for 4, and you think I'll never get out again, and then you go 0 for 20, and you think I'll never get a hit again. It is a hard game. Difference is, as a hitter, you get a chance a lot of times the next day. A pitcher, you got to wait 4, 5, 6 days to pitch again.
And that could be good or bad.
3-2 on Herrera.
See his follow through.
Herrera, a tough out against left-handed pitching. He's been one of the best hitters against lefties in the National League this year, trying to stay alive against Fried. And Fried with that big sweeping curve gets the strikeout. But a 4-spot put up by St. Louis's offense, which has been anemic at times since the All-Star break. Mason Wynn doesn't care. A crush job to left, a 4-run frame, and a 3-run Cardinal lead. A 4-spot in the second for St. Louis to jump out in front of Max Fried. Sonny Gray works with a lead for the first time, and he faces Aaron Judge, who swings at the first pitch, sends it deep right center. Scott along the track to the wall. He leaps, and he nearly had it, but it's gone. Aaron Judge, first pitch swinging on both attempts at the plate. A double and now a solo home run, and Scott is slow to get up after all of that.
He went so far for that ball.
Oh, man, a limp from one of the fastest players in the game right now, Victor Scott. Judge with the home run, his 39th.
Well, a little cutter from Sonny Gray. Doesn't get out there. I thought this ball was well gone. Victor Scott goes a long way. Almost gets there. Just off his glove, off the top of the wall.
Wow.
He tipped it. I'll tell you, that's another great swing by Aaron Judge. When he's covering the ball and hit the ball to right center like that, he's back.
We've seen 2 pitches. He's got a double and a homer with 2 RBIs. That's his first career home run against the Cardinals. He had homered against, I believe, against every other team except the Cardinals.
Right now, the concern with Scott. Top 4 home runs in Major League Baseball.
That is middle. That is what you expect Aaron Judge to do with a ball like that. That is center cut. That's a cutter. We keep talking about these cutters. They're not cutting tonight, Wayno.
Was that a cutter?
It had side spin. Unless he throws a 4-seam fastball at 91.5. And then the effort, Victor Scott. Wow. The Yankee fans super happy. Look at him.
See that pitch again. Yep, it was a cutter. And I'm telling you, the last 2 games he's pitched against Aaron Judge, he flooded him with those cutters, but they were all on the corner or away, just off the corner. And that's twice today he's missed up with that cutter, and Aaron Judge hit both of them.
Scott trying to hop around, make sure he is feeling okay. I imagine that was quite painful for Scott. Not only the sprint, the reach, banging his knee and his legs into the wall, landing hard after making the effort to try to make the catch.
And not what you want to see if you're a Cardinal fan. One of their young guys they're counting on for years. Great effort. Unbelievable effort.
Is it his knee or is his foot?
His leg. Lower body injury. Watch this effort. Tips off his glove. Bangs into the wall. Ooh,
I think his left foot twisted when it hit the wall.
Seemed to be the case. And you see that left foot underneath.
Those patterns on the wall are not as soft as they look sometimes either. You jump into them, you still feel that on your bones.
A couple of happy Yankee fans who get an Aaron Judge souvenir, his 39th home run. So he did not have a home run against St. Louis. His OPS under 600, and yet tonight 2 extra base hits and 2 RBIs, and it's a 5-3 game. Jazz Chisholm will take down and inside. Sonny Gray had some warm-up tosses in the interim.
Well, I'll tell you this. We showed the numbers for Aaron Judge before tonight. If they keep throwing him nothing breaking balls in the middle of the plate, those numbers are going to keep going up.
Ken Rosenthal, give me a little sense of Aaron Judge maybe getting back into the field, which I imagine would make Aaron Boone's life a little easier.
It would, Adam, and we're days away probably from that happening. Aaron Boone told us before the game that Judge threw out to 150 feet yesterday. It's day to day. He'll eventually be back in the field sometime this week, and at that point things will get easier for Boone. Giancarlo Stanton, who has been red hot, not in the lineup either of the last 2 nights because he played 3 straight games in the field against the Twins earlier this week, and the Yankees don't want to push it. Their best defensive outfield, Judge in center, Judge in right, Grisham in center, Bellinger in left. That is coming, but just not yet.
And again, Stanton played in the field in back-to-back games for the first time in a couple of years this week. Judge still dealing with that flexor strain, so on the throwing program right now. Bellinger has been dealing with an illness the last couple of days. He played the whole game yesterday. He is available in a pinch hit spot, but Aaron Boone wanted to give Bellinger a little bit of a breather. A lot of moving pieces right now with all the injuries. Remember, they acquired Austin Slater and Ahmed Rosario as well, but they quickly, after being acquired, went to the injured list. So they're without some of their extra bodies right now. Payoff pitch to Chisholm is outside.
I think he did hit a four-seamer, AJ. I think he was trying to elevate one.
At 91?
Yeah,
90.
These last few fastballs have all been 91. We know Sonny is not a huge fan of pitching in the heat. Wonder if his pitch count's kind of up. Not that up anymore, but
yeah, it just looked like it had funky spin from the first angle he showed. It looked like it kind of didn't have the dead four-seam.
His four-seam's
right?
got a little cut to it for sure. Either way, though, location-wise.
Yeah.
Well, you guys talked about the heat. One of the reasons is just pitch grips. I would imagine, especially, Wayno, you pitched here forever. Like, you understand, August in St. Louis is going to have a high level of humidity, a lot of moisture, and I would imagine it affects pitchers and their grips and everything they're trying to do to throw the pitch they want to where they want to.
And I think the last time the Yankees were here was 22, and that was one of the hottest series that I ever experienced. And so the Yankees just time it wrong when they come into St. Louis. There's some beautiful months here. August is tough, though.
This isn't bad, though.
No, this is fine.
I mean, it rained?
It's cooled off significantly
Since when we walked over here.
Yep. We came over, it was about 95.
I'd be dying for a night like this in the middle of August.
1-1 pitch to Dominguez in the air to right field. Back on it is Walker, and he's got it at the track for out number 1. We were talking about some of the injuries for the New York Yankees above and beyond, brought to you by Jersey Mike's. This is what they're missing right now. And by the way, we didn't even mention the former St. Louis Cardinal Paul Goldschmidt, who was dealing with a knee issue. He did play as a defensive substitution last night, so they're without another big bopper in their lineup. In fact, that's 813 career home runs on the bench right now in Goldschmidt and Stanton. Off from first base goes Chisholm, and he is in there safely with a steal, his 18th of the year, and the 5th for the Yankees in this series on Pages.
Yankees are going to go. They showed that last night. Jazz gets on, goes again. It's not on Pages. I don't know. Yes, he's frustrated. But there's not much he can do. That's not a terrible throw. Jazz just outruns the ball. It's usually on the pitcher, Wayno.
It's on the pitcher. Yeah, it was on Palante yesterday as well. I think sometimes you don't want to, but sometimes you just have to focus on making the pitch. If you don't feel great about your mechanics or delivery, you have to focus on making the pitch, and sometimes that can make you a little slower to the plate.
Right around 4 out of every 5 would-be base stealers against the Cardinal catching staff this year have lifted a bag. Major League average is closer to 1 out of every 4.
Do you think when you're struggling a little bit, like Gray, 50 pitches, 2 1/3 inning here, has already given up a 3 spot, you lose that focus a little bit and you become more focused, Wayno, on just getting the hitter, and you forget about the peripheral things you have to do?
Yeah, it can happen. It can happen for sure. And that's what I mean. And sometimes even if you are conscious of the runners on first or second or whatever base they're on, sometimes you just have to put priority over executing a pitch. Hopefully your muscle memory can allow you to do both, but sometimes you have to be hyper focused.
Ground foul. Volpe still alive at 2-2.
I played for Ozzie Guillen. Don Cooper was our pitching coach. They used to tell our guys, don't worry about the runners, just focus on your stuff. Well, I'm a catcher. I don't think it was on my record, man.
Yeah.
No. Focus on the runners too, guys.
Well,
AJ.
I also feel like, if you can hold them to first, if you can keep them close to the bag on not getting big secondaries, all those things are huge into your ERA as well.
On the outside corner and at the bottom of the zone. Close pitch goes Sonny Gray's way for his 5th strikeout. Volpe goes down for the 2nd time tonight, and there are 2 down.
Just a perfect pitch. Little two-seamer that runs back. Pages frames it up nicely for Vic Carapazza behind home plate. Nothing new for Sonny Gray, though. He leads the National League in looking strikeouts looking, and he's already got, 1, 2, 3 of them tonight of his 5. Nothing new for Sonny Gray.
Each of the last 3 have come looking.
Sonny has a great ability to get the swing and miss. when he needs it, and to get the caught looking when he needs that as well. He is very talented in that way, always has been.
Over 150 strikeouts in less than 140 innings this year. Ball and a strike on the third baseman McMahon. That one went off the bottom half, and he's taking a little walk around. Vic Carapazzo will take one as well, so will Pages to give him a breather.
What's it like, that next pitch, AJ, after you foul one off your foot like this? What's the next pitch feel like to you?
You just want to get the at-bat over with. Please. Just, he's got a shin guard on. I guess it missed it. It always seems to miss the shin guard, but yeah, when you hit a ball off your foot, or hit a ball off your knee, hit a ball off anywhere, you just want the at-bat over. Everyone's wasting time. You feel like everyone's staring at you. And you're just thinking, hurry up.
All right, so what are you thinking he's going to drop that slider back in again here, or the sweeper, or are you thinking he's going to go away now?
No, I'm thinking don't throw the same pitch you just threw, because I'm going to do it again.
1 on 2 out in the third. And a breaking ball lifted to right for Walker. And he's got it to retire the side. Yankees get one back on Aaron Judge's 39th home run of the season. He's driven in 90 this year.
Back here at Busch Stadium with Cardinals manager Ollie Marmol. Ollie, first off, how is Victor Scott?
Yeah, he's doing well. He kind of banged up his ankle climbing the wall there. When he landed, he felt it a little bit. We're going to check him out here during this half inning and make sure he's good to go.
Sonny Gray, we know he doesn't like the heat. He's at 56 pitches. How is he doing?
Yeah, he's left some pitches over the middle of the plate. Grisham and Judge have taken some good swings overall. He's made some other pitches to limit damage, so we're hoping he settles in here and throws up some zeros.
Finally, Mason Wynn. What should people watching know about him that maybe they don't?
Yeah, and he's a star in the making. He has the ability to do just about anything. Defensively, he's putting together an incredible year, but offensively, we're starting to see him take his hits when needed and then pick his spots to do damage. That was a perfect example there, but he has the ability to do everything.
Ollie, thanks a lot.
Now in his 4th season as the manager, now 39 years of age, hired at 35 to take over for Mike Schilt, the former St. Louis Cardinal draft pick himself. About 4 years in the minors, then transitioned over to coaching.
Never doubt Ollie Marmol would be a great manager. Since his days of high school, Adam.
Where did he go to high school, AJ?
Dr. Phillips High School, where all the smartest people go.
See, the natural joke here would be, well, then what were you, but I'm not going to say that's not right, because that's nobody's going to believe that anyway.
I think people are probably thinking that me and you are from there, Adam.
I'm definitely not, buddy. Definitely not.
Yeah, so Ollie Marmol and I went to the same high school.
Yep.
He was a little bit behind me, but
took this team to the playoffs in his first year, won 93 games in 2022, won the division title. An impressive push at the end of the season. Wayno, you were a part of that. Signed an extension last year through the 2026 season. And obviously this is a franchise in flux right now. John Mozeliak, who's been the longtime president of baseball operations, will retire at the end of this year. Chaim Bloom will take over for him. 2-2 pitch is a breaking ball grounded up the first base line. Grabbed by Rice. And flip to Fried for out number one. Ken Rosenthal, you can add.
I asked John Mozeliak about Ollie Marmol this week and his status. Now, going into the season, Ollie was in a difficult position, to say the least. Team in transition, both in the front office and on the field. But when I mentioned to Mozeliak that Marmol seems to be solidifying himself, he said absolutely that is true. He's showing signs of becoming a really good manager.
Still has this team in fighting distance. Cincinnati is a team that the Cardinals are chasing right now, in front of them in the wild card race. They still have 6 more games against Cincinnati to play. They still got to play Milwaukee a couple of series. They'll close the year against the Cubs. Will St. Louis.
nobody wants to play Milwaukee right now. They're giving away burgers. They're winning 10 games. They lose one, win 13 games. Nobody wants to play the Brew Crew right now.
Giving away burgers.
They're down to the Reds right now, 2-1 in the 7th. Cincinnati's got the lead.
It's early. They were down 7.
8-1 or something.
Yeah, they were down
yesterday.
8-1 yesterday in like the 2nd inning.
They came all the way back.
Somebody, though, made a bold prediction about the Cardinals that we're going to have to get into here before too much longer about that Cub series is going to matter.
Yep, I think so.
Well, the Brewers try to set a new franchise record tonight. Best stretch in team history. They're one of 3 teams since the turn of the century to have multiple 11-game win streaks.
That's incredible. 28-4.
Ridiculous stretch.
That's crazy.
Because you think, all right, we won 11 games in a row. We're due to lose a couple, and what do? They back it up with a 13-game winning streak. That's crazy. That's how you turn a division around.
10 games in a row is so hard at the big league level. We had a coach who said he would shave his whole body. He was the hairiest guy you've ever seen. He said, I'll shave my whole body if we win 10 games in a row. It's just so hard to win 10 games in a row.
And that was the natural motivation that pushed you guys over the top, right?
And we won 17.
That's right.
You had to find other people to shave.
Travis second.
Sorry, Adam.
I was not expecting. Is that a candidate? Is that what you guys are showing us now? Candidates for it?
Should have seen him before the shave.
Oh, that's a job of attrition right there. Even more intense. Excellent work.
I thought Brandon Marsh played for the Phillies.
That's
It's Matt Strom. Oh, yeah, it is Brandon Marsh.
Brandon Marsh right there, yeah.
The bat boy in Cleveland.
Gorman waves and misses on a curveball.
By the way, have you watched how many times Max Fried's pitch has gone flying off his belt?
Yeah.
It keeps happening. Got to get some better glue.
Yeah, sometimes that tape gets a little unsticky. Sometimes that back hip might be flying through a little too out of control.
Maybe that's a key for him.
I was going to say, does that give you any indication about what he's doing mechanically, just based off what his hips are doing, flinging a pitch comb away?
Well, I don't know. Who knows? It's a good spot, though. I used to put mine on my glove, but you know, it just kind of, God, that thing goes flying.
Yeah.
It's a good spot to have it. It's easy to reach.
You said it was on your glove, Wayno?
Not on my glove, but it, you know, then your glove hand's a little heavier. I never loved it. Even the tiniest little thing could make a difference.
pitchers. That thing weighs about 2 ounces.
We're very peculiar,
Very particular, yeah.
particular about our ounces.
A sweeper from Fried for the first 1, 2, 3 inning of this ball game that has seen a lot of scoring in the early going from St. Louis.
Back here at Busch Stadium with Yankees manager Aaron Boone. Aaron, Max Fried, 1, 2, 3 inning just there. Before that, what did you see?
Yeah, a little scattered with his command, and then a couple pitches in the heart of the plate that they took advantage of. Leadoff walk in that inning to the lefty, comes back to bite a little bit. It was good to see him really settle in there and execute a lot with a lot of different pitches, which is his MO. He's got a huge arsenal that he can beat you a lot of different ways, and that's where we got to get him to.
You told us before the game, Aaron Judge capable of going off at any time. Yeah. Are we seeing that after those first 2 at-bats?
Yeah, I mean, every time, he goes a little cold for a couple days, I usually start to get asked, and it's always with him, just a matter of time. And 2 really good swings to impact us so far, and hopefully we can hang around and keep chugging away tonight.
Your bullpen changed a lot at the deadline. How comfortable are you with the roles and guys settling in right now?
Yeah, I feel like we still have a chance to be a really great bullpen. It starts with everyone protects each other. The starting pitchers doing their job, getting routinely into the middle and deeper into the games, and then you can set up guys in spots they should be, and when everyone's doing their job, that's when everyone can be at their best.
Aaron, thanks a lot.
Austin Wells is the first out of the 4th inning as he continues to struggle at the plate. Here is Jose Caballero against Gray. Waves and misses at that slider. The starting pitching for the Yankees has been good lately, but they haven't gone as deep as Aaron Boone would like. It's been a lot of 5-inning outings. Luis Gil went 5 1/3 last night, until Will Warren went 6+, and then Carlos Rodon went 7 this week. They hadn't had a starter go at least 6 in about a week and a half, almost 2 weeks. Nice bunt by Caballero. It's going to stick in the grass for a base hit. That was a beauty. So the speedy Caballero comes in with 35 stolen bases in this, or entering this series, and had one yesterday as a board.
Perfect bunt. What are you going to do?
Nothing.
There's nothing you can do. Just an absolutely perfect bunt. Gorman at third. He's hoping. He should have got down and tried to. Remember when the guy for the Mariners blew the ball foul?
So back to the top. Caballero turns it over to Grisham, who muscles one off the fist and threw into right center field. Caballero's got speed. He held up and is still going to make it to third. And the Yankees are threatening First and third with only one out in the top of the fourth.
And amazing all this started with the bunt.
Well, perfect bunt.
A lot of ways to get there, though.
And then Grisham gets absolutely fisted. Throws this ball into center field. And this was a smart play by Jordan Walker. Most right fielders come up and fire that ball to third, has no chance. Jazz Chisholm ends up on second. It's second and third. But now the double play is still in order because Jordan Walker, people say, why didn't he throw that ball? He could have thrown him out. Has no chance to throw out Caballero. Keeps the double play in order.
And Grisham was reading him. Grisham was reading him too. If he, like you said, if he even starts that throw to third, he's taking second.
So another mound visit from Dusty Blake. NFL action of the preseason is back tomorrow. The Bears will play their starters. Most of their starters did not play in the opening game against Miami. They had a joint practice with the Buffalo Bills, who have some high expectations with Josh Allen going into this season. One of the last handful of AFC East titles. Bills and Bears tomorrow night on Fox at 8 o'clock Eastern time. Caballero at third, Grisham at first, Rice is at the plate. Grisham bluffed from first base. That's a good curveball from Gray to get a friendly strike. It's 0-1.
This is where, as a starting pitcher, you cannot try to get too tricky here. You can't compound the inning and get into bad counts. You see him getting ahead right there. You have to attack this hitter. Get it out.
Looking for a double play ball to get out of this inning because looming on deck is Aaron Judge.
Do you just walk Judge no matter what?
Oh, if he gets him out, you've got to walk Judge. You can't face him right there.
1-2 on Rice.
So right here, Sonny Gray's trying for a punch out. He'd prefer a ground ball double play, but he's really got 0-2. He's going for the punchy. If he gets it here, you're saying he walked Judge no matter what, even though second base is the open base.
Yeah, and I have a story like this that I can tell about how great Aaron Judge is.
1-2 pitch to Rice. Down and inside. Good scoop there by Pages.
In 2022, facing Aaron Judge, we got into a spot like this with a 2-run lead. Aaron Judge comes to the plate, and I walked Aaron Judge on purpose with intentional walk to bring the go-ahead run up to bat, because I knew that Aaron Judge was the only way that team was going to win. And Aaron Judge is such a game changer. You cannot allow him to beat you no matter what.
You guys went on to win that game, I think.
We did.
Right? 2-2 pitch to Rice. In the air, right center field. This is a no-doubt shot from Ben Rice. And this game has flipped. The Yankees take the lead.
Doesn't matter now.
It speaks to what you guys are saying. Judge is such a focus. These other guys need to step up. Rice just did to give the Yankees the advantage.
Little sinker.
Yep.
Trying to front door sinker him. He had got him his previous at bat on that pitch. This one was a little more elevated. Ben Rice was ready for it. 108.3 exit velo. And a no-doubter, like you said, Adam.
And now here's Judge. That's the first time he hasn't put a ball into play. His first 2 pitches that he saw went for a double and a homer. Rice's shot has put the Yankees on top. 18 of them in just over 100 games for Ben Rice. Yankee catchers have been pretty productive at the plate this year. 0-2 on Judge. These were the first 2 pitches of the night he saw. 2
little breaking balls that didn't do a whole lot. Although we keep thinking that was a 4-seamer, but man, it had some horizontal on it for me.
It's kinda,
But here's my thing. The scouting report on Sonny Gray throws a lot of first pitch strikes. Okay? 64%. What did Aaron Judge do? He's going up there thinking, all right, he's attacked me with cutters, balls out over the plate. He's not messing around. Even this at bat, he threw him a better sweeper. Judge still swung, even though it was off the plate. That was the scouting report for Aaron Judge against Sonny Gray. Get him early. He throws a lot of first pitch strikes. Don't wait around. In his first 2 at bats, he did it to perfection.
Judge laid off that last breaking ball. Infield back, outfield straight away, and a little further back. Another breaking ball outside and low.
It's a sweeper again, and now it's interesting. He swung over the top of a curveball earlier in the at-bat pretty badly, but he's gone with that sweeper twice now, and that's more towards Aaron's strength. I would like to see Sonny attack him with that curveball again.
Well, there's the cutter that got Judge chasing.
That shows you location is so important, because that's the same pitch that he hit in the gap earlier. But when you get it down and out, it's a whole lot different than up and away.
See, to me, that's a slider. I know it says cutter on the board, but to me, that's more of a slider. That ball has too much down. When I think of a cutter, I think of Mariano Rivera, Andy Pettit.
Sure.
Those cutters that are very horizontal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, his cutter has 3 or 4 more inches of drop than most cutters.
Nothing in 1 on Chisholm.
It's like a little baby slider, isn't it?
Yeah.
Quickly, 0-2 on a couple of fastballs.
That's the same. That's that shape that you're talking about. It's just got some natural pull cut to it.
High-scoring affair in the first 3+ innings. Yankees scored twice in the first. Cardinals got 1 back. They had a 4 spot in the second. Yankees with 1 in the third, and that 3-run Rice homer here in the fourth to go back in front. 1-2 pitch. And away, 2-2. These two offenses that have been a little below average since the All-Star break, both with big offensive nights already against a couple of key starters for these two clubs. On the ground, 1 hop to second for Sujasi. And that'll retire the side, but Ben Rice, who's got more opportunities in the lineup as a catcher, playing first base tonight. Going yard. Yankees lead. Beautiful sight here in St. Louis, Missouri. Gorgeous Saturday. Baseball night in America. Yankees and Cardinals in a back-and-forth high-scoring affair already. There is Sujasi leading things off for St. Louis. Another young player getting an opportunity for the Cardinals, just 23 years of age, former Texas Ranger draft pick. There's a breaking ball in there for free to strike. 4 earned runs the first 6 times he took the bump in his career against St. Louis. It's a 1.14 ERA those first 6 outings. St. Louis is getting some pop tonight. It's fouled by Sujasi, 1-2.
Still in line for the win, though.
It's an important inning here if you're the Yankees and Max Fried. Pitch count's still manageable. Can probably give him an inning or 2 more. Just got the lead back from his boys in the offense. Go out and shut them down. You're at the bottom of the order. 7, 8, 9 up for the Cardinals. Go out and shut them down. Be the ace. Yeah, your night hasn't been great. Hey, we scored you 6, Max. Shut them down.
Well said.
And by the way, this is nothing new for Max Fried. He's got the highest run support in Major League Baseball. Almost 7 runs a game. So every time he takes him out, he's like, guys, score me 7. We'll probably win.
Score 7 and play airtight D.
Nice backdoor breaking ball there to freeze Sujasi.
That is one of the first times all day that he has timed up his delivery with that sweeper. He has struggled today with that sweeper command, and he's actually struggled with it. Those last 7 games we talked about, that's been one of his big problem pitches, and that's actually a pitch that he's got 9 hit batsmen this year, and 4 of them, I believe, are on that sweeper that he hits to lefties. He's had a hard time locating that.
That's a career high, 9 hit batters. He has retired the last 6 since the Mason Wynn 3-run home run in the second. 1 away for Pages.
Well, Wayno, let me ask you this. We talked to Aaron Boone, his Max Fried's manager, about how, yes, he's changed his pitch arsenal, and he went to the more sweeper cutter, east to west. How can that affect you as a pitcher? Do you lose command of other stuff that you've been able to do, like that backdoor sweeper that we just saw?
Well, and like we talked about earlier, a cutter is the pitch that you can fall in love with more than any other pitch that I've ever seen. Because you throw that cutter in, if you're free, you throw that cutter in on a right-hander and you break a bat, you sting somebody's hands, that is a great feeling, and you chase that, oh, I want to do that again. And then you start doing it over and over and over again, and that can make you lose the feel. For Max, that can make you lose the feel of the first base side of the plate. It could also make you lose the feel of some of your other pitches, like you said, and Andy Pettit talked to him about that. But the cutter, for some reason, once you break a bat, you chase that feeling, oh, that was fun, I want to do that again.
Another one off the plate from Pages. Charging in is Chisholm. Tough play, tough short hop. Rice cannot corral it at first base. The tough play all around. Pages, the St. Louis catcher, beats it out.
It's a really good play by Jazz right there.
Jazz came and got that ball quick. Full speed ahead, came and got it. Got to remember, Ben Rice over there, he came up as a catcher. He's not used to getting handcuffed from about 37 feet at his ankles. That is a tough play. Jazz made a great play, but for Ben Rice, that's tough. That is a rocket at your ankles.
It is an infield single for Pages. And now Victor Scott, who drove in a run and scored in the second. That's a good sign. Blues and Jazz all in one. Scott takes the first pitch, pops it up. Volpe is back, and he's got it for the second out. Play Ball is Baseball's global youth initiative to highlight the fun and accessible ways to play the great game. To learn more, including how to find a league near you, you can go to playball.org and follow Play Ball on X, Facebook, and Instagram. And again, Paul Goldschmidt has been the main first baseman. Cody Bellinger is usually the next guy that gets the opportunity there. But both of those guys out of the starting lineup tonight. Back to the top of the St. Louis order, and Mason Wynn, who clubbed a 3-run home run to left in the second. Pages not a threat at first. Wynn fouls it.
looks like he's still thinking about hitting one of those left field seats to me, AJ.
I mentioned it before. When you're a right-handed hitter, you face Max Fried. You can't swing at the ball off the plate in. You got to try and push him out over the plate. The home run, he got a little cutter that didn't get in. Pushed him out more towards the middle of the plate. That pitch he just fouled off, Wayno, off the plate in. You can do nothing with it except pull it foul if you hit it good. Got to push him out away.
1-1. And it's in the dirt. Knocked down by Austin Wells.
I remember John Lester, who was one of the great guys. Fastballs into righties, cutters into righties. He said, once I got those guys swinging at that ball in off the plate, I knew I had them. I knew I had them, the right-handed hitters, because they were going to expand, and I could just keep going in, and they'd keep swinging at it. And it's like a Pac-Man, just chases you in.
Wow. Three balls and a strike on Mason Wynn. 2 down in the 4th. And he pops this one back foul. We just saw Victor Scott retired for the 2nd out of this inning. Remember, he tried to chase down that Aaron Judge home run, landed awkwardly. He thought maybe that left foot might have been an issue as well. And then this was after the pop-up. You can see clear discomfort on his face, and then you see the hobble out of the box. You're already missing a great defender at third in Arenado. Scott is an excellent defender in center field. And you wonder how his health is going to be going forward tonight. Runner takes off in Pages, and it's foul.
Those last 2 pitches are the one, if you're Wynn, you want. 94, 3-1 out over the plate right there. I know it's 97 out over the plate. Those are the ones you got to attack, Wayno. It's just so hard to hit the ball in off of Max Fried.
Pages will take off again. 7th pitch coming from Fried to Wynn. Got him on a breaking ball. That retires the side. Leaves a man stranded. He's retired 8 of the last 9 Cardinals. We head to the 5th in a 1-run game. We did see Victor Scott go back out to center field. He was moving somewhat gingerly as he made his way out. I can't imagine he's feeling 100% right now, but he is out there as we get set for the start of the 5th inning. Jason Dominguez will take a ball low. RBI single in the 1st, to fly out in the 3rd for Dominguez. Just 22 years of age from the Dominican Republic. One of the faster Yankees, and he's got some pop in the bat as well. Waves at a changeup and misses.
That's a pitch right there. If you look at his numbers on the pitch this year, it's not that great, but his changeup over the last 4 or 5 starts has really improved. Sonny's worked hard on his grip and his execution of that changeup. When it gets hot like this and humid and stuffy, there's just no air out there. That's the hard thing about the hot games. When there's no breeze going, you just don't feel like you can take a deep breath. Just kind of catch up. It's just relentless humidity. That can be really tough as the game wears on.
And you can't just do that in between innings. You can't just hop into the pool. Line drive into center field. Dominguez with a knock. His 2nd hit of the night. Came in struggling. He's had a few hits in this series. And leadoff man aboard for the Yankees as we take a look at the Fisher Investments player profiles. How about this around the league? Talked about the Brewers trying to extend their win streak tonight against Cincinnati. Zach Wheeler, some huge news for the Philadelphia Phillies, who obviously have a great rotation, but at the top of that rotation has been Wheeler, and he's on the IL. Cal Raleigh, the first player to 100 RBIs. The big dumper's already at the century mark. He had slowed down a little bit, much like Judge. They had tremendous first halves. They both slowed down a little bit, but Raleigh is still banging out home runs, even though he's not hitting for as high of an average. Hit his 46th yesterday. Judge with his 39th earlier tonight.
Can you say possible MVP of the American League?
I think it feels like more and more of a possibility now, doesn't it?
Yep.
Not only obviously what he's doing offensively, we know that. He's still managing one of the best pitching staffs in all of baseball too. When they're at their best, Cal Raleigh's a big reason why Seattle's pitchers are so good. Nothing in one on Volpe. Pops it up down the right field line.
The one on there for me is the Wheeler injury.
Huge.
The Phillies are going to the playoffs, but he has been one of the best postseason pitchers of the last 10 to 15 years, Zach Wheeler. And
no doubt.
For them to lose him, yes, I know they have other options in Sanchez and Ranger Suarez and Nola's coming back, and Jesus Luzardo, and Taijuan Walker's been pitching really good this year. But
Wheeler's the number 1 of 1s, though.
Exactly. He's an ace.
True ace.
I hope his health is good, though. You know, there's
Dominguez runs, swing and a miss, throw down to second base, and it's a strike him out, throw him out, double play. First time in this series that Pages cuts down a runner. Now Aaron Boone is taking a look to see if he wants to challenge this. Dominguez is going to be cut down for just the 3rd time this year.
Look at the throw. It's just perfect. He must have come off.
Ooh.
Does he come off the base?
I just think it was too close to challenge, but
Aaron Boone didn't want to risk it.
It's like the tag got on his chest when his arm was already in there, didn't it?
Nah, he was out.
Out.
Catchers get the benefit of the doubt.
Now the base is empty for McMahon. 2 away.
Just a perfect throw, though. Huh? What we can't see from this angle is, did that glove touch his arm on the slide in?
It's too close. I think that's what it came down to. But a perfect throw by Pages behind the plate. You can't throw it any better. He basically made Dominguez slide into the ball.
So JC didn't really have to move the glove a whole lot, right?
Sagasi just put the glove down.
Glove out, and here it is.
Here it is, and Dominguez slid into it. That feels good too as a catcher. Guys have been running all over you, and all of a sudden you finally get the guy. You just want to look at him and just like shoot him the guns at him or something. You know, like do the old Shooter McGavin at him, or like, yeah, I got you.
Someone watched Happy Gilmore 2 the other day.
I have not yet, surprisingly.
I watched it the other day on the plane. It was very entertaining.
Ball and 2 strikes on Ryan McMahon. And he lifts a breaking ball towards left center. Scott showing off that speed. He's going to get there. Moved pretty well. It still doesn't look like he's moving 100%, but Victor Scott at less than 100 is still faster than a lot of guys in this league. Good defense in that inning. Why don't you guys cool yourselves off as we're halfway through. Your team, your players, baseball your way. You can get personalized highlights and push notifications just for you. Download the MLB app today. Alec Burleson will lead things off in the home half of the 5th inning. Tripled in the 1st and scored. Struck out back in the 2nd. One of 6 Max Fried strikeouts so far tonight. It's the strike on a curve.
That's a pitch. I like his curveball so much more than his sweeper. He has such a better feel for it as well.
Well, yeah, that's the pitch he's thrown his whole career.
Yeah,
that's the one that kind of put him on the map with Atlanta.
It's an outlier. It's a Clayton Kershaw, you know, big sweep, big over the top, tons of break. I mean, I think his curveball breaks like 9 inches more than the average curveball or something like that. It's a crazy number.
Burleson 1-2. It's outside. There is action in the St. Louis Cardinal bullpen. Kyle Leahy, who's been very good as of late in this new look St. Louis pen since the trade deadline. Ollie Marmol has felt pretty good. Good bullpen effort last night for St. Louis to even stay in the game with 4 scoreless innings. Lifted to left. Dominguez. 1 down. So we've been tracking Victor Scott tonight. This is a long way to go. But you can just tell, like, it doesn't look typical for Scott. He usually moves so smoothly. You see him talking with Nootbaar on the way back to the dugout after that last half inning, and then going with the training staff back to the clubhouse.
Get a little cold spray on there.
Trying to get through the night. Herrera waves and misses.
Cardinals are only playing, they're already playing down. They're playing down a couple of players that are not on the DL or not on the IL right now, that they're trying to maybe nurse for a couple more days, 2 or 3 more days. They can't lose Victor.
I told you Wilson Contreras might be available to come back tomorrow. Brendan Donovan's probably going to be a few more days. Obviously Donovan has been so key offensively and defensively and is typically at the top of the lineup for the Cardinals. It's that time of year though, right? And you get to this point, we're at the 3/4 pole basically of the season. You got about 40-ish games left for most teams, a little less than that now. And I imagine every team is dealing with this in some capacity, right? Little nagging injuries. Some teams are dealing with more serious stuff, but both of these clubs in particular have been hit by the injury bug as of late.
Maybe they took Victor Scott. I went in the training room earlier. They have that full cryo thing you go into. Have you seen that? It's like a. Have you done that while you were here?
Oh, I love the cryo.
What did it do for? They opened the door and like smoke came out all over the floor.
You don't do I do that as often as I can. It's 3 minutes, and it's like minus, I don't even know, minus a big number, and that makes your body just super good for recovery.
There's Fried to field that play from Herrera, and there are 2 up and 2 down in the 5th. Tonight's telecast is sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Step up to the plate for savings. And by Applebee's. Help us squeeze out childhood cancer. 5 times these 2 teams met in the World Series. Some of the great names both on the field and in the booth. Hard hit ball off of Nootbaar's bat. Volpe makes the play. Will they finish it off? Picked out by Rice, inning over. As maligned as Volpe has been at times defensively, in particular about a month ago, he's been very sharp. And the Gold Glover in 2023 makes a great play to finish off a 1-2-3. Max Fried, 5th. Nice pick by Rice. We mentioned Kyle Leahy has been very good in this new look St. Louis bullpen, has not allowed a run in 6 of his last 7 outings. Did give up a run in a loss to Colorado on Wednesday, but a guy with a pretty deep arsenal. It's been used a lot this year. It's appearance number 46 for Kyle Leahy. He'll deal with the bottom of the order, 8, 9, and 1 with Wells, Caballero, and then back to the top in Grisham. Last night, 4 scoreless innings, Wayno, from the St. Louis bullpen.
He's a guy who's pitching himself into 26.
Base hit right center field for Wells, who's been mired in a 5 for 52 skid. He's happy to get some solid contact and the leadoff man on base.
He's pitching himself into a chance to be in the starting rotation next year.
We guys mentioned Leahy's a multiple inning guy. And what did Ollie Marmol tell us before the game? As we see Sonny Gray's line, 88 pitches, 5 innings, 6 earnings, a couple homers. And he just looked exhausted after 5 innings. But Leahy, yes, multiple inning guy. Ollie Marmol said he saved him in case something happened for a multiple innings. Got a good changeup, good curveball. But yes, you're right, Wayno. He could be a weapon for them next year, possibly in the starting rotation.
Caballero, a bunt single and a run scored his last time up. It's 0-2 on the 9-hitter for the Yankees. The St. Louis bullpen, since the All-Star break, has an ERA of about 2.7. League average is closer to 4. It's the second best bullpen ERA, right behind the San Diego Padres since the All-Star break. And overall, they've been top 7 this year. Hard hit towards third. That's off the glove of Gorman. That's into left field. On to second base goes Wells, and it's a knock for Caballero. So the 8 and 9 hitters for the Yankees able to get aboard and turn it over to Grisham with runners on base. So obviously the big moves for St. Louis in their bullpen, trading Phil Maton, Steven Matz, Ryan Helsley. You get Riley O'Brien, Matt Swanson, who pitched 2 very key innings last night. JoJo Romero's the only lefty in there, and then Leahy. This guy's been pretty darn good, and Ollie Marmol has done a nice job of putting them into good spots.
They've been great, and Swanson's a guy they got in a trade for Paul DeYoung last year from Toronto, and he had, I don't remember how many saves in a row he had in AAA, but it was a long streak. He's going to be in this bullpen for a while.
It's 44 for 46 for his career. That's going back to the minors and including Major League Baseball. Breaking ball for a strike to Grisham, 1-1. Well, now this St. Louis bullpen is in a tough spot with the top of the Yankee order. Nobody out, 2 already on base. Looking to tack on. Rice hit a 3-run home run in the 4th. He's on deck. There's a fastball at 97 that just clips the zone. 1-2. Leahy's fastball averages 95, which is pretty much what you see out of every bullpen. Just about everybody in these pens throws 94, which is the league average for fastball. For starters, it's around 95 for relievers. One-two pitch to Grisham, and that's a spiked shot in the dirt, knocked down by Paez.
Look where that dot was on the far. I mean, what a stop by Paez, but those are the ones as a catcher. This is the one as a catcher, like, please hit my chest protector. Look where the dot, I mean, that's not, I don't know who's doing the dot, but that's not exactly where it crossed.
It was knee high after the bounce.
It's like a 53-footer, and it looks not too bad.
On the dot, looked like it went halfway. Yeah, as a catcher, though, when you see a pitcher let one of those go, you just throw your chest in front of it and say, please hit my chest. Do not hit an arm. I don't want any flesh. Just please hit my chest protector.
You can tell Paez is so hot, too. Look at his face. He's slow roasting.
Earning his keep tonight on a night like this. 2-2 pitch to Grisham as a breaking ball popped up. And it'll get out of play.
You know, this is where the game, Wayno and Adam, has really changed. I know Grisham has 21 homers this year, is career high, but he's the leadoff hitter They have a 1-run lead in the 6th inning. This would have been an auto bunt.
Yep.
No,
Yep.
I'm not saying it's good or bad.
Right.
Depending on how you're looking at it. But this is just where this would have been an automatic bunt from 10 years ago back.
Yep.
On almost every team, I would have said, oh, man, we can bunt 2nd and 3rd, get Rice and Judge up with guys on base.
For 120 years, it was a bunt.
I mean, not saying it was good or bad, but he gets a hit.
Into center field, the knock. Wells to third base. He'll get the stop sign from Luis Rojas, and the bases are loaded for Rice.
And every anti-bunter in the world right now is going, that's why you don't bunt.
I agree. No, listen.
No, you said it's not necessarily good or bad. It's not about that. It's just how it's changed.
Yeah.
Well, Grisham's got 4 hits tonight, so probably a good idea to let him. Let him swing away. It's his second 4-hit of the game, second 4-hit game of the season, his 4th career game with 4 hits. But yeah, he was 3 for 3. Waino, let him swing.
Let him swing. Obviously, it was the right decision.
Obviously, yes, of course. Boy, a few mound visits from Dusty Blake already. Only 1 remaining after this one for St. Louis. Now it's Roderick Munoz loosening up in the St. Louis pen. So the bases are loaded, nobody out. Yankees looking for a big inning. We've got Ken Rosenthal on the field. Kenny?
Adam, when the Yankees acquired Grisham in the Juan Soto trade, they figured that between injuries and days off for other outfielders, he'd play at least 3 days a week. This was last season. It turned out he made only 52 starts, batted 190, and he left the Yankees with the decision on whether to even offer him a contract for this season. They did, but Grisham took a pay cut from $5.5 million to $5 million. And Grisham said the lesser salary wasn't difficult to accept. If I want more money, he said, play better. Well, he has done that, and he's given himself a chance to earn much more in his first crack at free agency this winter.
Trent Grisham has played in big games. He's had playoff experience. Has hit clutch home runs this year for New York. Part of that 21 home run campaign. Now it's Wells, Caballero, and Grisham all aboard for Rice, who's already got a 3-run bomb tonight. And there for a strike.
We showed Grisham right there on first base. I don't know if he was talking to Rice or Judge, but kind of giving him a little scouting report. You see fastball, middle, breaking ball, 12-6. Then he rubbed his belly. I don't know. I think it's because he's hot.
Towards right center field. Well struck ball towards the gap. It is back. It is off the bottom of the fence. Wells is in. Caballero is coming home. Grisham's right behind him. Rice clears the bags. A 6 RBI night. And it's a 3-run New York lead. Nine to 5, 4-run advantage now for the Yanks.
Breaking ball right here. This is what Grisham said. Oof, but that's a hanger. Ooh. And Ben Rice's eyes lit up. Heard he went deep his last at bat, and there's 3 more RBIs. And here comes Ollie Marmol to get the Leahy out.
I think what we're seeing is some pitchers struggling with humidity tonight. Some grip. We've seen a lot of hangers tonight.
This is great base running, though, by the Yankees. Train coming home.
6 runs driven in on the last 2 swings from Ben Rice. Yankees have the 4-run lead in the 6th with Judge coming. Not a career high for Ben Rice, the 6 runs driven in. He's had a 7 RBI game in his career, but 3-run homer, 3-run double. And now here's Judge, who also has a double and a home run tonight to drive in a pair. Yankees have extended the advantage to 9-5 here in the 6th as they get after Kyle Leahy in the St. Louis bullpen. Now back-to-back outings that Leahy has given up runs and Roddery Munoz is into the game.
Ben Rice is going to want me to come to more games because I was at a 7 RBI game. So now he's 7 and 6. The last 2 games I believe I've done that he's been in. But you're Roddery Munoz here. You haven't had a lot of success in your 9 2/3 innings. And by the way, you get to face Aaron Judge, your first hitter.
Lays off a slider.
I'm not saying that the heat is for sure the reason, the humidity and the moist fingers, but I do want to point something out real quick. If a hitter's bat is too slippery, here, put some pine tar on it. If it's a little too sticky, here, put some rosin on it.
No.
Pitchers get nothing. Pitchers get nothing. Go out there and get nothing. You'll like it.
You get rosin?
I mean, you do, but what's that? I mean, just put rosin on your bat on a night like this. How far would you throw that bat? You'd sling it into the outfield every swing. Pitchers aren't allowed any sticky stuff. Just light stuff, like little stuff.
Like spider tack.
No, that's not little stuff.
Judge draws a walk as Munoz comes out of the pen and issues a free pass.
I find it so funny that pitchers, being a former catcher, I had to deal with pitchers. Not only did I have to worry about trying to get a hit, but I had to deal with pitchers. And it's always something with pitchers. Oh, it's too sticky. It's too slippery. It's too hot. It's too cold.
You got 2 different kinds of sticky stuff on the on-deck circle, plus the rosin, all kinds of things. And you could put grip on the dang thing. What? Jeez, don't even get me started.
You don't want me to throw the bat at you, do you?
No, but apparently everyone wants everyone to throw baseballs at people's heads. Come on, MLB.
Here's the thing. I don't mind if pitchers had a little sticky stuff, but I don't want it to where it changes the game.
No, I agree with that. A little sticky stuff. You know, a day like this is 100 degrees, humid as all get out. A little sticky stuff.
Adam Wainwright, the problem is pitchers got a little carried away with the sticky stuff, and that's why the crackdown occurred.
Well, I know. They let them get like that, but I'm just saying if it was, you know, really monitored, pitchers would never try to take advantage of that system.
I mean, I remember I was playing for the Red Sox, and Michael Pineda on the Yankees had a full pine tar rag on his neck one night in Fenway.
On a nationally televised game.
I remember that.
I mean, is that the kind of sticky stuff you're talking about?
Just the little stuff.
Chisholm goes down, foul tipped into the glove of Pages for the first out. That snaps a stretch of 5 straight. Let
the pitcher borrow 1/3 of the stuff you have on the on-deck circle. How about that? Hey, on-deck circle guy, throw me some of that Manny Mota stick out here real quick.
You know what you guys get? You get the rosin. You can use the heavy bat. That's, look, 1/3. You get the rosin bag. Yeah, you get the spray can.
And you get a spray can. That's 4 times the sticky stuff on deck. Jeez.
Oh, my God.
And we're the high maintenance ones.
Yeah.
I don't know if that conversation just went for like 2 minutes. I think you both have passionate pleas on both sides of it.
No, we're in agreement. It's just.
Yeah, agreed. I know what you mean. Well, I mean, listen, Garrett Cole, current Yankees, was kind of at the center of a lot of this stuff a couple of years ago. And Max Scherzer has talked about this. You know, does MLB have something in store for the future where they could have a universal substance or something like that? That would be my thing.
Can't we come up with a substance that you can give pitchers and say you can use this?
Yeah, I'm all for that.
2 on, 1 out. 1-1 on Dominguez. In there for a strike on the inner edge. 1-2.
Do you think it would change anything, though? Ooh, cotton candy would be good. Now, pitchers, listen, we were showing cotton candy.
That would work.
I know pitchers that used to have tobacco in their mouth, and just so it would make their fingers sticky.
Yeah, I used a little bit of just sugar gum. Just chewed a little bit of gum.
Can you give me a sense of what? I know the natural assumption as well, it helps with grip. Can you tell me what the difference is with these?
If you have a very slick, brand new out of the box ball, and you go to rub it up, it is very tough. Very, very tough to get a grip if you don't have any kind of rubbing on the ball or any kind of mud. And sometimes, depending on where you play, every visiting parks, I don't know, I think it's the home side clubhouse guys are in charge of rubbing those balls, and they all rub them different.
It's different no matter what. Sure.
No matter where you go, it's never the same.
You know what we used to tell guys on teams I was on? When Adam Wainwright's pitching, don't rub up the balls. Make them slippery.
That's fine.
And don't give him any sticky stuff.
Yeah, John Smoltz could not stand. He'd throw every ball in that he got that didn't have a good mud on there.
Crisco.
If they were
all,
I mean,
get a little jalapeno up my nose.
Something. Like if it's like you got a rosin bag right there, you can go over and you can touch. Maybe you can only touch it once per inning. Whatever it is, it's something. Once per hitter.
You know, the veteran pitcher would have told the young Adam Wainwright, I don't got a curveball like yours, son. I need all the help I can get.
Yeah, exactly. I would have.
Look, you got the thing that cleans out your cleats.
What's that supposed to do?
Now we're just naming things we see on screen, which I like. I love lamp and cleat cleaner and a swing and a miss and a breaking ball, 2 down.
It's a fascinating discussion, though. Honestly, I know we're kind of making a mockery of it a little bit, but when they came out with the sticky stuff conversation, remember Max Scherzer?
Yep.
The great Max Scherzer got ejected for going in, washing his hands in front of MLB, and then came back out, and they were like, nope, it's too sticky. He's like, wait, you guys just washed my hands.
I actually tested what he said out.
Is that
he
right?
He was right.
Hard hit ball, but back behind the second base bag is Sujasi. That'll retire Volpe, who's 0 for 4 tonight. 3 more runs added on the Rice double in the 6th. Well, for those of you in the New York tri-state area, you can watch the finale of this series between the Yankees and the Cardinals on YES Network. Coverage of 1 Eastern on YES and the Gotham Sports app with our good friends Ryan Rucco, Joe Girardi, Justin Shackle, Michael Kagan the weekend off. Max Fried back out there for his 6th inning of work. That was his 88th pitch of the night. Jordan Walker's 0 for 2, and he's ahead of the count here.
This is a big inning for Fried. If he can finish this, kudos to him, man. Coming back very strong after those first 2 innings. Throwing 3 zeros up in a row.
He's retired 11 of the last 12 Cardinal hitters. Walker watches one high and away, 2-1.
Team gave him the lead. You see his body language is frustrated right there, but team gave him the lead. What did we say? Got to shut him down. Since then, he shut him down 2 innings in a row. His team goes out and scores 3 more, gets 9-5. He wants to go quick inning, 1, 2, 3. He'll probably be done after this inning. Give his offense more momentum. Go get some more.
That pitch right there, the changeup, those last 2 changeups he's missed, but I think this is a big pitch for him going forward. Something to get on the first base side of the plate. He works that cutter and 4-seamer to the third base side so well. If he can get just anything, sinker or changeup, one of the 2 on that third base side would be, or first base side would be huge.
In the air towards right center. Grisham was shaded in that direction, but that's going to sail over his head and one hop the fence. Walker for 2. He's got it. First hit of the series for Jordan Walker. It's an extra bagger. The leadoff man is aboard on a 112-mile-an-hour rocket from Walker.
That was an absolute missile. This ball just keeps going. All the discussion, Jordan Walker, get the ball, get the ball in the air. Get the ball in the air. Why? Because when he hits it in the air, it goes like this. He hits the ball really hard. Terrible slide, though.
A little late, wasn't it?
I don't know if he was like wasn't looking, and then he catches his shin on the. Oh, that
He's
hurt.
actually lucky he didn't hit the base with his front foot.
That was a terrible slide.
So he would have rolled over bad there.
He's in scoring position for Gorman. Already a couple of injury list stints for Jordan Walker, so can't afford to miss any more time. He's missed time because of a wrist and because of appendicitis this year, missing a total of 33 games due to those ailments.
Is there more a more, I guess, divisive?
Deep drive, right field. Gorman down the line towards the pole. It is gone. Cardinals aren't done. It's a 2-run game in the 6th. Ball is flying tonight.
Another break ball doesn't do much, Wayne.
Yeah.
Those are pitcher's nightmares right there.
He tried to get it all the way away from him. Tried to help it with his body again the same way. His arm was late, dragging through the zone. Front side pulling too much, and he just didn't get it away from him as much.
That's going to push Max Fried out. 2-run game in the 6th. Even in the midst of heated battle between a couple of storied franchises, this is a great moment. This Yankee fan tells a fellow Yankee fan, hey, it's that kid's 10th birthday. So they team up to get the kid over. And happy birthday, young man, and a great move by those fans right there, too. And it's a good ball game. 9-7 after that 2-run blast from Nolan Gorman. Who's had 10 of his 11 home runs come in the last 2+ months. He's got the Cardinals right back in it, and now it's Devin Williams who's trying to turn it around in a Yankee uniform. 1-0 delivery in there to Sujasi for a strike.
Real quick before we get into Devin Williams, if that's a Yankee home run, does he give it to the kid? And who said all New Yorkers are bad people? That was nice.
Who knew that Mick Foley was a Yankee fan?
Oh,
He actually is a Yankee fan.
great mankind pull right there. In a lot of ways.
But yeah, that's my question. If that's Aaron Judge that hits that, does he give it to the Cardinal fan?
Well, and
Yes.
the other Yankee fan had a Judge like jersey on, so I'd be curious. Thankfully, we don't have to worry about it. We saw a nice moment.
I love that stuff.
Ball and 2 strikes on Sujasi, who stays alive after that nasty Devin Williams changeup. That has been the pitch that turned him into a star reliever in this league, in particular with the Milwaukee Brewers, who, by the way, came back in the 10th to take the lead 3-2 on the Reds.
Of course they did.
You see those 3 incredible years with the Brewers. It has not been the same in New York so far.
I gotta ask Wayne this. So basically, Devin Williams is a 2-pitch pitcher. Fastball, air bender, they call it, his changeup. Okay, he's been so successful with those 2 pitches. Is it fastball location? Because even here, he's fast. First pitch was up out of the strike zone with his fastball. Velocity is the same. Is it that his fastball location is off? Is that his changeup isn't as good because it still has the same movement profile? Or after you answer, I have another opinion.
Well, his fastball, see that location right there? When he's great, that's where he throws his fastball. It comes off the same plane as his changeup. It stays at that top spot in the zone that you can't really get the barrel to. It's uncomfortably high, but you have to swing at it because it's a strike. That was always what he did. If you took it, it was a strike, and if you didn't, if you swung at it, you couldn't get to it, and then he worked the changeup off. And that's what he's always done. And I think what we've seen this year so far is fastball command's not been there, and changeup's been a ball out of the zone, out of the hand. Ball out of the hand. His changeup is so great because it looks exactly like his fastball coming out and then just disappears.
Okay, so then my next theory is, does he throw the changeup too much sometimes? Because now think about this. This isn't a knock on Austin Wells. This isn't a knock on Ben Rice. This isn't a knock on J.C. Escara, their other catcher. They're young catchers. So what are they going to run to in big situations? His best pitch. So then he throws, boom, heater by him, right? He doesn't throw enough fastballs. Because if I'm facing Devin Williams, I'm thinking, I don't want to get embarrassed by his changeup.
So that's been the change. And I just wanted to give you guys some context. So last year, in that final of 3 great years with Milwaukee, 45% of the time he threw the changeup. That's up to 53-54% this year. So feel free to continue with that context. As he gets the strikeout on the fastball of Sujasi. Now Pages.
But you see what I'm saying, right?
Yeah.
As they have younger catchers, and they're thinking, well, his best pitch, I'm always told throw the best pitch. But sometimes you have to use the other best pitch to get guys out.
Now, he did use that changeup a lot more 2 years ago. So again, it's 6 in one, half a dozen in the other. But I'm fascinated by what you're talking about, AJ, with the younger catchers trying to figure out the process. He had veteran catchers in Milwaukee for a few years.
I know guys that can go up there and just look for that pitch, and they still can't hit it. When it's on, it's like almost impossible to hit.
Sure.
But it comes down to what does it look like right out of the hand. And when like the changeup we threw earlier in this at bat, that was a ball out of the hand. When he throws it, it looks like it's going to be middle. It always ends up like ankle high. Those are the ones that are just impossible.
2 balls and a strike on Pages, who's got a couple of hits and a run scored tonight. It is Garrett Hampson on deck for Victor Scott, who we imagine at some point would probably be pulled from the game. Did see Tim Hill loosening up in the New York Yankee bullpen as well.
So I want to go back to what we were just talking about. Sorry, Adam, but
Go ahead, good.
here's my thing. You just threw a 2-0 heater right by Pies. Like, no chance. Late as all get out. Calls timeout. He's like moving around slowly. It's 9 runs. We're in the 6th inning. He's tired catching. Then they throw him a 2-1 changeup, and he doesn't even, like right there, to me, that should tell you as a catcher, he's looking changeup. I'm just going to throw a heater right by him here. If you can throw it for a strike. He just took a 3-1 heater pretty much middle, right?
Yeah.
Now Weaver and Hill loosening up. And how about this? 2 strikeouts for Devin Williams back-to-back. Ken Rosenthal on fastballs swinging.
Well, obviously, Devin Williams takes some responsibility too here, and he did that in late June. When he lost the closing job, he began calling his own pitches on PitchCom. He told reporters, "I wasn't comfortable with the way the game was being called, so instead of trying to make other people see what I'm seeing, I took it into my own hands." So my question for Adam Wainwright would be, how much should he take control in this day and age when so much is dictated from other places? Let's put it that way.
Well, this is a great question, and it all depends on the pitcher. Because a guy like you used to catch, and Mark Burley, he would probably be uncomfortable calling his own pitches every time, wouldn't you say?
Oh, absolutely. He didn't care.
And I would say there's a lot of relievers out there. And there, for that matter, there's a lot of starting pitchers, too, that rely almost 100% on their catchers. But if you're out there and you don't feel comfortable in what's being called, you have to take control. And you have to be the one taking the reins in the pitch calling.
Popped up by Hampson. Out of play, it's 1-2.
So here you go. Remember what I said about Pages? 2-0, threw it right by him. 2-1, changeup, easy take. 3-1, heater right down the middle. He's looking, to me, that's what the pitcher catcher, when you react, Craig Maddox and Smoltz and those great Braves guys, you say, you react to the hitter and what he's doing. They'll tell you what they're looking for. Aaron Judge, first pitch, slider, wax it. What's he looking for? Breaking ball, first pitch strike. So then as a catcher, pitcher, adjust to that. See right there, Hampson, that's a strike. He's got no chance. He's so late. His foot's not down, and that fastball's by him. If I'm facing Devin Williams, I'm thinking I'm going to get a changeup at some point. I don't want to look like a fool on the changeup. So I'm going to wait for that. Now, if you can throw enough fastballs for strikes, you can get guys out.
Williams comes home and Hampson fouls it. It's 2-2.
Yeah, the tricky thing about sitting on pitcher's best pitches, when his changeup is great, it's probably plays along with, because his fastball's in the zone, and you have to respect it. But you know, you can sit on that changeup when it's great. You're not hitting it.
St. Louis native Devin Williams home to Hampson, and 3 strikeouts, all on fastballs. He comes in and gets out of the inning after Gorman's 2-run shot pushed Fried out of the game and made it a 9-7 game. Fried still in line for the win through 6. To the late innings we go. It is Ryan McMahon leading things off against Roderick Munoz, who came in to finish off the 6th inning. Garrett Hampson stays in the game for Victor Scott. So you lose a little bit defensively if you're St. Louis. Hampson takes over in center for these key late innings as the Cardinals got back into it with that Gorman homer. And there for a strike on McMahon. It's 1-1, and Munoz has a big job now too. Try to keep this game where it's at. The Yankees bats have been very hot tonight with 13 hits. 4 times they've had the leadoff man on in this game. 2-1. On McMahon, who already has a walk-off hit in a Yankee uniform. Struck out once tonight, trying to cut down on strikeouts. Yankees knew that he had a tendency to chase when they brought him over from Colorado.
You want to talk about somebody who is so good at third base, though?
Yeah.
He plays one of the best third base in all of baseball. No doubt.
That's why they brought him. That's why they brought him over for his defense. Whatever he gives them offensively is a bonus. But they wanted, we saw Max Fried, if he's throwing that cutter in on righties, ground balls to third. Carlos Rodon, if he's pitching, ground balls to third, right? Like, that's what they want. Some of their bullpen guys with their sinkers they throw, ground balls to third. They got to solidify that position.
And it was such a position of flux for most of this year. Obviously, DJ LeMahieu was in that spot for a while. Peraza was in that spot for a while. They used Jazz Chisholm there, moving him around. So a little bit of solidification with McMahon. He's got a great arm. Makes a lot of diving plays. Saw that a lot in Colorado as well. Two-two pitch. And he's worked the full count.
His stance and his kind of way he moves around the box, he looks like a left-handed Nolan Arenado in the box, like so many of those Rockies did.
Payoff pitch to McMahon, and a breaking ball lifted to right. Backing on it is Walker. That ball still carrying all the way back to the wall, and it's off the top of the fence. They're going to call it a home run. Speaking of the pop, Ryan McMahon drills one, and that ball just kept on going. It's a 10-7 ball game. First home run as a New York Yankee for Ryan McMahon.
I don't think Walker thought this ball was going to go as far either.
I don't think anybody did. I don't think Pages did. I don't think Walker did. I don't think McMahon did.
Scoreboard, then wall. It's a home run. McMahon has his first in pinstripes, although they're not wearing the pinstripes. He's got his first as a Yankee.
Just automatically say that, though, about the Yankees.
Just naturally you do it.
Aaron Boone saying that's how I used to do it when I played for the Yankees.
13-year MLB career for Boone. That one's drilled down the right field line. Austin Wells may have hooked this one, though. And indeed, that is the case. A foul ball. It's 0-2. Wells came in as a defensive sub last night. But again, just trying to get going at the plate. That single in the 6th. Eventually, he came around to score.
Those torpedo bats are here to stay, I think, AJ.
What's amazing is that the first series against the Brewers, everyone was torpedo batted crazy. That talk's gone away.
Backdoor slider for a strikeout of Wells. One away here in the 7th. Judge has hit a home run tonight. Ben Rice has a home run as well. And now Ryan McMahon. That has accounted for 5 of the 10 runs tonight, right around where the Yankees are on average. Very high home run rate. 195 of them. Most in Major League Baseball. They've got a pretty decent lead on the rest of the field. They'll be the first to 200 more than likely.
What was it, 2019 when didn't the Twins hit 300?
The Bomba squad. Juan Caballero is just off the plate to him. It's been a home run happy Yankee team for the better part of a decade now. Ken Rosenthal, you talked to Brian Cashman about the home run dependence for the Yankees.
Yes, I asked him yesterday if the team is indeed home run reliant, 2 home run reliant, as is the criticism that you hear from time to time. And he said, I don't buy that. I know people say that, but I see that we can win games in many different ways. Last year, the big complaint, we were 2 station to station. Now we've got a lot more athletes in this lineup that can go first to third, second to home, steal bases. There are over 90 stolen bases now, so he is correct. They can do different things, but they still hit a lot of home runs.
It's a fascinating conversation. That piece of it in particular, Ken, the athleticism of this Yankees team now in their first strike. Aaron Boone said, you know, and we brought it up, the base running miscues that the Yankees have had in high profile games. They've been magnified. Chisholm has been a culprit at times. Wells, different guys on the Yankees have made base running miscues in big spots over the last month. And when we asked Aaron Boone about it, he felt it was a little overblown. It's not as many as people make it out to be. They don't make as many outs on base as other teams. They just happen to be magnified, and a lot of them come in losses. But he said, I want them to be aggressive. I almost think we should be more aggressive on the base pass. Try to steal more bags. And that's something he would rather see. Payoff pitch to Caballero. And he does not take the bat off the shoulder and draws a walk, turns it over to Grisham.
Well, that's easy for Aaron Boone to say. But you get caught stealing, it bangs you in your salary arbitration or your salary case if you're a free agent because you get caught stealing too many times, or you make a mistake in New York and it's magnified 50 times over a lot of other places. So sometimes I think you're almost overly cautious because you don't want to have that question come up, even though Aaron Boone could say, hey, Trent Grisham, steal more. Jose Caballero, steal more. But Caballero came from Tampa. He gets thrown out in Tampa. He got thrown out. He gets thrown out in New York in a big situation. Why'd they trade for this guy? What are they doing, right? So I understand what he's saying, but to get there is the problem.
Speaking of which, Caballero takes off, and he is in there safely with another steal.
No chance.
37 of them now.
This is just like, I have absolutely no chance. I mean, he basically Caballero basically had a running lead, running jump, fast as all get out. A great throw by Pais, right on the money, but no chance.
It's a great jump. He had almost a secondary lead into his run, but it's just, I mean, it's on the pitcher again. It's a big leg kick.
He'll get third too here if they don't mess around.
Yeah, guys, I mean, Pais has a great pop time. Average pop time in baseball is about 2 seconds. He's at like 1.93, so his arm is not the problem. The St. Louis catchers, again, we're including the pitching staff in this in terms of limiting the run game. They're only catching runners about 20% of the time. Again, that's about 3-4% lower than league average. It's a little surprising considering how good Pais' arm has been behind the plate, but I think it speaks to what you and Waino are talking about. It's not just the catchers, and we have a tendency, and I do it too, just you think about the catchers being behind the plate, but it is a team effort. It is a battery effort between catcher and pitcher more often than not. And now with an issue, Dusty Blake is going to make his way back out.
Can you repeat that pop time?
Double play duo is sponsored by Thrive, and we'll give you the top 3 in the order with Grisham, Rice, and Judge. Big nights for all 3.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3 in the order have done all the damage. Duo, we need to make that a trio. of guys. But what was the pop time again?
For Paz, 194.
Oh,
League
okay.
average about 2. So that's pretty good.
So
194 is really good. 193 is really
But
good.
Wayno, there's 17, 15, 12-year-old kids that pop time is 187,
Yeah,
175.
Yeah, right.
I mean, come on.
Those guys are throwing from, they're already standing up, and then they're basically crow hopping into it. I see all those videos. You see the same videos.
Oh, I see
do.
them all the time.
That's not the way it's actually going.
2-0 on Grisham with Caballero in scoring position, taking his secondary lead. 3-0 on Grisham. We are getting word from the Cardinals PR staff. It is a left ankle sprain for Victor Scott. And as we showed you when he went up to try to rob the Aaron Judge home run, kind of twisted that left ankle underneath the wall on his way down. That's why Hampson pinch hit for him, and that's why Hampson's out there in center now.
Best pitch on earth to steal on right now.
3-0.
For Caballero.
Do you see his lead too?
Taking a big
He's
secondary
starting
lead.
to get real comfy out there.
And he just did an inside move, so he's thinking he's not going to do it again.
You get out there like that, don't do the inside move. Do the snap throw, spin around throw, and shortstop's already there. Wynn's already behind the bag. There he goes.
There he goes, and that ball gets away. Caballero slides into third. He's got the steal. That's now 38 of them as he continues to extend his lead in Major League Baseball.
But my question is, Mason Wynn's the shortstop. He's standing right there. Tell him, wave.
Yeah.
Hey, throw me the ball. That was the largest, one of the largest. Look how large this lead. If he breaks right there, Mason Wynn's got his hands on his hips, like break.
He never looked back.
That's the easiest stolen base Caballero will have all year. And like I said, 3-0 is a great pitch to run on. Now
we felt it coming too.
Oh yeah, you could see.
Closing in on 40 now is Caballero.
But that's so huge. With one out right there, I mean.
Grisham on base all 5 times. He's at first. Rice has driven in 6 tonight. He's at the plate with runners at the corners and 1 out. And there for a strike on a fastball.
Great job by that second right there. Great job by the runner, just picking up tendencies. Okay, he's going to look. He's not going to look. He's not going to look. I'm going to keep taking steps, and you take what they give you.
But also, young guy on the mound, 3-0 count. He doesn't want to walk anybody. There's a lot of factors that go into it. But that's where it happens all the time with pitchers, and you were great at it, Wayno. Situational awareness. Pay attention to what's happening, but also the shortstop. Mason Wynn has to be saying, hey, 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 hey.
You have to do whatever you can to deter the desire of trying to steal a base by the run.
As a catcher, I used to get so angry because you look out at the pitcher, and I can see the runner, and sometimes he'd turn his head and you can see it, and they'd look right at him, and all of a sudden he stops. Hey, pay attention to him. I don't know what they have on their pitch count, but inside move, or like you said, a snap throw, a quick pick. There's so many ways to stop it. Just young guys don't do it.
2-1 pitch to Rice. Towards right center field. That one's going to get down, and it's going to be a 7 RBI night for Ben Rice. That extends the Yankee lead to 4 again. Caballero lifts a couple of bags, comes home on a single. And Ben Rice is having a huge night with A.J. Pierzynski in the house again.
I mean, Ben Rice, you're welcome. Every time I'm at a game, he gets 7 RBIs, but between him and Grisham and now Aaron Judge coming up, the top 3 in this order have done a lot of damage.
And that'll do it for Munoz. Andre Granillo is coming in. Second career 7 RBI game for Rice. And the Yankees are back up 4 in the 7th. Take a look at Fox Foresight powered by Google Cloud, and Aaron Judge has already hit a home run and a double to drive in a run tonight. Has a chance at 30% to get another extra base hit. And this is the third pitcher he's facing tonight. It's back-to-back at bats that he faces a reliever that has just come in. It looked like Andre Granillo had slipped on the front of the mound there. Went back to double check it. But he is into the game for St. Louis's bullpen. 10th appearance this year. And his third stint back up with the big league club, being shuttled between here and Memphis. Nice looking slider, and it's 1-1.
That's his pitch. Slider's been his best pitch this year. He's been really effective, more effective against righties than he has lefties. But he's a fastball slider guy, really a two-pitch guy. But his slider is 68% sliders. That means it's your pitch.
Got beat up a little bit in his last outing at Dodger Stadium. It has been 11 days since his last outing.
This is where teams, though, are separated. Yankees brought in Devin Williams to get out of a jam in the 6th.
Rocket foul.
Cardinals are bringing in rookies. Rookie. That's where teams are separated.
This is the development that St. Louis is in the midst of right now. It's very rare, and Waino, you know this. You were part of the Cardinal organization during a time where they found great success consistently. And it's been rare to see them be sellers. It's happened basically 2 out of the last 3 years. It's just not something that most people who've watched baseball this century are used to seeing.
Yeah, it's a little bit different here in St. Louis right now. They're in a weird spot, but I'll tell you, there's not an organization in baseball that hasn't gone through something like this.
Sure.
There exists. I mean, it's been a great run for the Cards for a very long time, and they're doing a little rebuild now, or whatever, reset, whatever they want to call it.
Sure.
But that's what they're going through. They just got to make the most of it. It's going to be a fun challenge for Chaim Bloom and his staff. But you have to look at what John Mozeliak and his staff did for decades. It was pretty amazing. Walt Jocketty did before that.
Sure.
It's been amazing. It'll be fun to see how they come out of this, because it'll make everybody that stays here, it'll make them better for it in the long run when they persevere.
First pitch swinging. Jazz Chisholm with the bags loaded, flies it out towards right. It'll be Hampson to make the catch, and off from third, Grisham. He will score, and it's a 12-7 Yankee lead. Chisholm drives in a run, his third of the series.
I didn't love that by Hampson right there. You got Jordan Walker who's got a rifle.
Would you rather have Walker call off Hampson? This is a guy that has a top 15 arm relative to metrics.
Yes, and he's coming in, and he's got all his momentum going. To me, that's where Jordan Walker, I know the center fielder has full authority out there to take what he wants, but watch Jordan Walker right here. He's got full momentum. He's calling it. Hampson calls him off, but Jordan Walker catches that on the run. I'm not saying he throws it out, but at least we got some action.
Is that another kind of young play? Like if this is 2 years or 3 years from now, I bet you Jordan Walker is going mine, making the catch and calling off Hampson.
They're talking about it right now. You can see on Jordan Walker's face he wanted a shot at that one. Him and Hampson. Hampson's not a center fielder a lot. I mean, he's a utility guy.
Yeah.
He's playing center field because Victor Scott went down, but I would have loved to have seen Jordan Walker catch that and unleash it.
Yeah, he's got one of the best arms in baseball, let alone on this Cardinal roster, does Walker. Woo! There's a strike to Dominguez, 1-2. Yankees have added 2 more in this inning. Felt like every time the Cardinals had an offensive response, the Yankees would come back. Cardinals responded early when the Yankees scored first. The Yankees have been able to do it in these last couple of innings. Weaves and misses at that slider to finish off the frame. 3 across for New York again in this inning. And it's a 5-run New York lead at the stretch. Baseball's just heating up. You can be a part of all the excitement, action, and unforgettable moments. Scan the QR code or go to MLB.com/tickets and plan your ballpark visit. Top of the St. Louis order in the bottom of the 7th inning, and Gary De Los Santos will check in. Just came back up 10 days ago from AAA. He's been shuttled back and forth a few times this year. Been good going back to late May. 2.5 ERA for De Los Santos. Mason Wynn hit a 3-run home run back in the 2nd. Time gave St. Louis the lead. Yankees took it first. St. Louis, then New York. Back and forth we've gone tonight. Two teams that are in the midst of the wild card races in their respective leagues. Cardinals are fading a little bit, but the Yankees holding on to the number 3 spot.
Just showed Aaron Boone. There's a lot of pressure. There's a lot of heat on the manager of the New York Yankees. Is there anybody you've ever seen that handles it better than how he handles it?
Cool as a cucumber.
It was amazing. All the stuff they've been through. And he was just sitting in his meeting like nothing was going on. That's what you have to have if you're going to manage the New York Yankees.
I loved what he said. He said, I want those guys to know every day they know what to expect out of this office right now. And that's such a huge statement.
I asked him if it's something that he does purposefully, and he goes, it's not something I do like I come in and go, I got to be even keeled. It's kind of just how Aaron Boone has been. There's a good changeup from De Los Santos to retire Wynn. Mike Hill is back in the studio with a game break. Man, I mean, this is the other thing that we were talking about. We mentioned the Brewers to Aaron Boone, and he goes, I was talking to one of my staff members the other night when they were down 8-1. I go, they got them right where they want them.
Yeah.
It was another comeback win tonight. They were down early against Cincinnati. They were down late. They're down 2-1 in the 7th inning. That became a high-scoring extra innings, but Milwaukee makes it 14 straight. They have just overtaken the Central.
29-4.
Unreal stretch of
that is
month.
Unreal.
What was the lead? They were how many games behind the Cubs, and now they're
6.
Now they have a 9-game lead on them.
Wasn't it 6 games?
Might have been 6 or 6.5, and everyone thought, but 2 months ago, oh man, no one's catching the Cubs. No way.
Well, what a play by Volpe just to get there, but a bad throw. Probably going to be an infield single regardless for Burleson on a slow developing play. We'll see what it's scored as.
But there's been a lot of the races.
This has happened this year, right?
A lot of the races. The Yankees had a big lead. Now they're behind the Blue Jays by 7 games at this moment. 6.5 they win. But just it's been crazy this year. The difference.
I mean, I imagine that the Yankees and the Cubs are kind of shell-shocked. You know, like these really impressive first halves. I know the skid for the Yankees had kind of started in mid-June, really, but. You've been in Chicago. You know, you've been in Chicago this summer. I was there. I lived there, obviously. So, like, the talk for 2.5 months was this is the year where the Cubs are back.
Yeah.
It's going to be 2016 all over again. Let's go sign Kyle Tucker long term. Let's go make a move for a rotation piece. And it just has not played out. They've played 500 ball for the last month, and the Brewers have been world beaters, 29-4.
I think as far as the Yankees are concerned, though, I mean, you have to be honest about what's not been out there on the field. Their downswing turn, Judge is out, right?
Sure.
Stanton's out. Obviously, Garrett Cole's out. I mean, I know they were playing good without Garrett there too, but Schmidt, Cruz, Bellinger's been banged up. Yarborough, Loaisaga. I mean, it's not easy to overcome all that. I'm not saying it's an excuse because they were playing good ball for a while, but that's a lot.
Herrera bounces one foul, still 1-2. Sleeper picks are sponsored by Mattress Firm, and our great crew backs us up in this discussion. So the Yankees were up 7, Dodgers were up 9. There's that 6.5 game Cubs lead. The Tigers have kind of tailed off a little bit, although the still dominant team in that division. Mariners are right there on the Astros' tail. Another chop off the plate towards short, grabbed by Chisholm, steps on the back, throws to first, double play. They turned 4 of them last night. They turn 1 here to finish off the 7th inning. Talk more about what's going on around the rest of the league when you come back. 12-7 New York. Some of the storylines around baseball, 14 straight now for the Milwaukee Brewers. Huge game, huge series this weekend at Dodger Stadium. Dodgers took the opener last night against San Diego, and then the Mariners right on the heels of the Houston Astros in the AL West. These races have been flip-flopped or close to it over the course of the season, and it does feel like there are going to be a lot of tight races down the stretch, and even for the wild card spots. Anthony Volpe will lead things off against Andre Granillo here in the 8th inning.
Well, we're going to show that graphic again about the races. What's going on in New York? Both of them had leads, and now they've both lost 10 games, over 10 plus games to the division leaders in both those races. Look at the Yankees and the Mets. Mets 5.5 now. That's a 10.5 game swing. Yankees have a 14 game swing right now. Cubs 15.5. It's crazy. Even the Dodgers gave up 9. A 9 game lead a little over a month ago. 6 weeks ago, they had a 9 game lead. What is happening, Wayno?
I don't know. Well, I was.
Volpe 1 hop to short for win.
That last graphic, the team that sticks out to me, the Seattle Mariners. That team could mess up, and they could mess around and win. They've got some offense now to go along with that great pitching. They were dangerous before the trade deadline, and now they're really dangerous after the trade deadline.
Brian Wu pitched well tonight. It was a loss for Seattle to the New York Mets, by the way. A 3-1 final, but a well-pitched effort by Brian Wu tonight. He's got a 3 ERA and a 10-7 record for Seattle. Here's McMahon, who hit his first Yankee home run his last trip. Ken Rosenthal, you're down to the field, and you can add.
Well, the Mets did get an impressive major league debut today from Nolan McLean, so maybe he'll be an answer for them. But Adam, you're right. The AL West is really interesting, and it gets only more interesting with Josh Hader telling reporters today that that left shoulder capsule sprain he has probably will keep him out the rest of the regular season. He's hoping to get back for the postseason. Remember, the Astros have been without Yordan Alvarez since May 2nd, and yet they've done this. They had 18 players on the IL at one point, including 8 starting pitchers, but you wonder at what point do they possibly break. I'm not saying they will, but Seattle now has a real opportunity with Hader out.
See the AL West standings. Astros and Orioles are tied in extra innings at 4. McMahon golfs one out to center for Hampson, and they're 2 down.
I just never can count the Astros out until someone puts them in and kicks the dirt on them, because it just seems like no matter who they find, who they have, they lose Bregman, they lose Correa. They got Correa back now, but they lose Verlander, they lose Garrett Cole, they lose whoever, and boom, here they are again, leading the division late August.
Wayno, I thought you brought up a good point, though, about the injury issues for the Yankees. It's all these teams eventually hit a slide. It's just hard to maintain, I would imagine. Like, the depth of your organization will get you through those times and keep you afloat, if not playing very well. But the Dodgers had all those pitching injuries. You heard Ken talk about all the Astros injuries. The Cubs have been dealing with starting rotation injuries since the beginning of the year. Interesting to see how all these storylines connect, collide, and eventually calm down to see who we have at the end of 162 at the top.
Hader was a capsule strain?
Yeah.
That's a tough one. That has everything to do with the layback of your arm. As you go to really fire that ball, and your ball gets to the very max layback there, and you go to explode forward, that's that capsule.
For somebody like Hader, who's made his money off of velocity and being able to miss bats with his fastball,
he's going to have to make sure he's 100% before he comes back.
Hard to recreate that explosiveness when you're dealing with that injury. Good pitch by Granillo, the slider to finish off a 1-2-3 8th inning. To the bottom of the 8th we go in a 12-7 ballgame.
First.
Game summary in a 19-run ball game tonight between the two clubs. High scoring, high octane on a hot and humid St. Louis night. Max Fried giving up 7 earned runs, but still in line for the win. Sonny Gray giving up 6 earned runs. Rice a big night. Grisham's got 4 hits and has been on all 5 times. Top 3 in the Yankee order has been excellent. Lars Nootbaar is 0 for 3 as he faces Yerry De Los Santos in his second inning of relief. On this Players Weekend, as we hit the three-quarter pole essentially of the Major League season. Used to be the weekend where players would have nicknames on the back of their jerseys. They've changed it this year to bats and cleats are the items to show as pieces of flair. 1-2 on Lars Nootbaar. And of course, so many of these players doing this for charities that they represent, perhaps their own foundations. It's all for a great cause. Great shot of Joel Pozo of the St. Louis Cardinals, one of their young catchers who it was great to see on the local St. Louis broadcast last night. They talked to Pozo about his intent and what he wanted to do on this Players Weekend. Joel has been through a lot with he and his family as they do great work at Mercy Hospital here in St. Louis, talking with young children who are dealing with at times terminal illness, young children that are hospitalized for long periods of time. Nootbaar sends one out towards left. Dominguez is there for the out. Some of the shots from the hospital visit for Joel. Joel's son Paul was born in March of 2020 and was experiencing seizures that required a lengthy hospital visit and weekly checkups. And this is an infant that has to deal with this. And obviously the pandemic was going on around the same time. So the minor league season was canceled. That is obviously Joel's, at that time, source of income and means to support his family. He lost his insurance. That was the money that they would have used for his son Paul's medical care. He and his wife Paula. At one point, Joel and his family were rendered homeless. They were living out of the family car that they would park at a Walmart in Orlando, Florida. And for Joel, who finally made his way to the major leagues after a few years, it's an incredibly emotional thing for Joel to do with his family. And check in with kids who have hardships like that. It's a great story, and it's really impressive, and it's really good stuff from Joel and the Cardinals, and it's just incredibly meaningful, and it's a great cause this weekend.
Well said.
Yeah, well said.
Well said.
There's some incredible children's hospitals here in St. Louis as well. That Cardinal Glennon Children's here. There's 3 or 4 incredible children's hospitals in the city that are serving so many families in need here. Joel is just such a champion for that.
Came up to you with a big smile on his face in the clubhouse today.
It's a treat for big league players around the league when they get to go in and put a smile on those kids' faces.
Walker goes down swinging. De Los Santos gets the out, 2 away here in the 8th inning.
It really is a great thing. Well, you were a Clemente winner, Wayno, so you did a ton of charity work and for causes, but there's people like Pozo that we don't get to talk about a lot because the stories don't get out. You hear about a lot of things, but there's a lot of major league players that do a lot of things for a lot of people that people never hear about, and they all deserve recognition.
And that really is an amazing story, though. Living out of your car in the Walmart parking lot to being in the big leagues, hitting home runs for the St. Louis Cardinals, it's really, and representing those great kids, man, that's awesome.
0-2 on Gorman, who has one of the home runs hit tonight. Aaron Judge, his All Rise Foundation does incredible work, especially this weekend, bringing more attention to it. Jazz Chisholm the same. We hear about it more with superstars, right? They're superstars. We talk about them a lot more often, but for a player like Pozo who doesn't get the type of attention that some of the other superstars might, there's a lot, as you guys accurately said, there's a lot of those types of stories across Major League Baseball. It's always good to shed a light on those. One-two pitch to Gorman. He did not go around. Nick Marley doing the work at third base tonight. Carapazza behind the plate. Nick Lentz, Mark Ripperger, the rest of the crew. Off the mound. Tough backhand play by Volpe, and a throw across his body. And not an easy play with the different bounces that ball was taking, and Volpe was right there on top of it to finish off a 1-2-3 De Los Santos 8th.
Off the cup, spinning funky.
Nice play. There's the former NL MVP, one time in a Cardinal uniform. Last 6 years he spent in St. Louis. Paul Goldschmidt dealing with that knee tweak. Into the 9th we go. Granillo another inning of relief as he deals to the 9-hitter Caballero.
One of the great people and teammates the game's ever known right there.
He's done everything well. Great defender. 4 Gold Gloves at first base. He's got 372 home runs right now. 400 is certainly within reach for Goldschmidt. Overran a pop-up earlier this week. Kind of had a little bit of a tweak. And has been on the bench for the most part. Did play late in the game last night as a defensive sub. Aaron Boone wants to try to get him in at bat or two at some point in this series. Obviously, to give Paul Goldschmidt a well-earned ovation from the St. Louis crowd that watched him play a whole lot of good baseball these last half dozen years. Had that terrible slump last year and still eventually busted out of it. Caballero pops it up. It's Wins, and it's the first out. This was just with St. Louis, Wayno. That's what Goldie did.
Yeah. Not
7-time All-Star. That's counting all.
Yeah,
of them,
that's
right?
counting all of
Sure.
them.
I was like, wait a minute. That's all right.
okay.
But the NL MVP, you were a witness to that 22 MVP season.
And just like I said, as good as it gets, teammate-wise. Man, whenever anyone needs a hand on the shoulder or whatever, or somebody to talk to, he was always there for you. Man, he's just He is a 10 out of 10 teammate. Pretty good player too.
Oh, good. Trent Grisham looking for a rare 5-hit game tonight. He's been on base all 5 times. 4 hits and a walk. He scored 4 runs. In 1 5-hit game during his rookie year with Milwaukee 6 years ago.
I feel like that mustache is of such great quality that he might have to keep that forever. That thing, it looks good on him.
It's very Mattingly-esque.
I don't say that about
right?
many people with a mustache. He just looks like it's natural.
I want to know, when are you going to pop the mustache for just like, have you ever done that and your wife Jenny goes no?
Oh yeah.
That's happened before?
Oh, every time I shave my beard, probably like
you
every
leave
other
the
man in the
stash?
world, you leave the stash just to
see.
show 'em.
Just
Yeah.
to see. And Grisham is retired for the first time tonight. 2 down.
Yeah, that's not my future, but it certainly isn't his. Looks good.
Here's Ben Rice, one of the top 3 in this Yankee order.
There you go. There's the engine for this Yankees offense. Grisham 4 hits, Ben Rice 7 RBIs, Aaron Judge home run, double, 2 walks. Get on for Aaron Judge, guys. Get on for Aaron Judge. Let him drive you in. Ben Rice is hitting in just about the best position you can hit in baseball.
Yep.
With Aaron Judge hitting behind you.
As Juan Soto pointed out early in the season,
Yeah,
right?
he did. I tell you, you inject Stanton in there, you inject Goldschmidt in there. That's kind of like murderer's row right there.
That's like
I mean,
1,100, 1,200 home runs between those 3 guys, Stanton, Judge, and Goldschmidt. There's a hard hit ball from Ben Rice, and it'll be Walker flagging it down. Vernillo had a little bit of a grimace as that ball got hit hard, and he's got a smile as Rice is retired. Yankees 3 outs away from taking the series. Mark Leiter Jr. is on. Just needed 8 pitches in last night's contest. What has been a solid bullpen effort from the Yankees. Doval gave up a couple of runs yesterday, but outside of that, the other Yankee relievers in this series have not given up a run. 5-run cushion for Leiter. And he's got 7, 8, 9 due up for the Cardinals here in the bottom of the ninth. So JC will lead things off. Finale of this series tomorrow afternoon from Busch Stadium. Miles Michaelis has had some really great starts this year. He's been in a little bit of a funk as of late. He'll go for St. Louis. Meanwhile, Will Warren is coming off an excellent start against Minnesota this week. He'll go for the Yankees. 0-2 on Jason.
The good thing, if you look at the Cardinals lineup as it stands today, you're seeing some lefties in here that would normally not have played against a lefty. But this young team, you're getting a whole month, at least a month and a half this after the deadline.
Bouncer to third, picked out by McMahon. 1 down.
You're getting a whole bunch of at-bats from all these young guys to see who is it that's going to stick here. You're going to see who deserves more at-bats, who deserves more playing time. You're going to see who's on this team in the future, and you're going to see who maybe not, maybe isn't. You know, that's, you're getting to learn who you have right now.
A lot of homegrown guys, right? A lot of draft picks for St. Louis, and this is that transitional period where the old core, so to speak, is moving on or has moved on. And you're looking for the next iteration of the players that everybody in St. Louis gets used to, right, Ken Rosenthal?
Well, one thing that's going on here that should be noted, attendance is down. Average attendance going into today, 28,804, would be the Cardinals' lowest for a non-strike, non-COVID season since 1984. That's more than 4 decades, guys. So don't expect this team to go big in free agency. They are going to take their time with this, with Chaim Bloom taking over. They've got to find some pitching, and it's going to start there.
Now, those attendance figures are just shocking, and like a lot of things with the Cardinals these last couple of years, just because we got so used to the consistency. For about an 11-year period, they were top 5 every year in attendance. That dipped down to top 7, top 8 last year. They're around 20th this year.
I got to ask Waino. Uh-oh.
Pages drills it, and that is long gone. Halfway up the pavilion there. What a shot by Pedro Pages.
Ooh, heater in, kind of middle in. Pages got it, knew it. You got a nice trot around the pillows.
Another homegrown talent, 6th round pick in 2019.
I want to ask Waino, Cardinals legend, what would you do? What would be your move to help this organization bounce back quickly?
As Joel Pozo will pitch hit.
It's a big question.
He'll climb into.
So I think they've already established that they had to get back into developing players from a rookie level on, and every level, getting more coaches, more advisors in there, more mentors for those guys. That's the first thing. But the Cardinals have always had a great mix of homegrown young fellas and veteran players pouring into them. So you got to go out there and get a couple of old sages, a couple of A.J. Pierzynskis that can pour into the young guys, because they need to learn their way. But you definitely have to start at the grassroots level too, and work your way up from there too. But there's not to say, I don't necessarily agree that they're not going to spend in. Now, I haven't talked to Mo about this at all, and I haven't talked to Chaim Bloom yet. But I don't necessarily believe that they're not going to spend any in free agency. This is a storied franchise that is not going to just sit back and be happy with losing 100 games. They're not. So I wouldn't be surprised if they make a couple of splashes in free agency, but look for a couple of young guys to emerge also. I don't know if that answers your question, but do I have an hour?
No, you got one more out.
Mason Wynn takes a strike. Well, if nothing else, the fans here in St. Louis will show you how they feel about it, and I think that's Ken Rosenthal's point with the attendance too. They'll let you know. Towards the hole at short, diving stab by McMahon, a highlight reel play, but the throw not in time. Mason Wynn beats it out, walking a little bit gingerly after that. And he is aboard to extend the game. Well, football season's around the corner, and I don't know if you're going to get it, but you may not get a bigger, better non-conference matchup the entire season than what we'll see when Arch Manning takes over at Texas as the bona fide, undisputed starting quarterback going up against the defending national champions on August the 30th. Can't wait. Texas, Ohio State, massive opening game to start off your college football season right here on Fox. Strike to Burleson. Towards the left side, McMahon hustling over, trying the barehand, and no play. Probably end up being another infield single for Burleson. He's had a couple of those his last 2 trips. And suddenly things getting a little interesting with the tying run suddenly on deck for St. Louis.
Oh, another infield knock. McMahon tried to do everything on Mason Wynn. There's nothing he can do on this one. He tries to barehand it, but he's not throwing anybody out on that ball. So you're right. They're one hitter away, and Austin Wells got to go out of the mound because they've got to get another reliever up. Bednar's up just in case the tying run, I believe, gets to the plate.
Sometimes you're used to pitching in those leverage spots. You come in and up by 5. Doesn't feel the same. Happens every time.
So Bednar, who got his second Yankee save last night after he had 17 of them with the Pittsburgh Pirates this year. And now Aaron Boone is indeed making his way out, and he doesn't want to mess around. And Ivan Herrera, who's been one of St. Louis's most consistent and best hitters this year, is coming up. You can stream MLB Network 24/7 for the entire season. Plus, you get the live audio for all 30 teams. No blackouts. Access to the minor leagues, MLB Big Inning, and available pre- and post-game shows. MLB.com/@bat for details. No shot that Aaron Boone ever even considered that David Bednar would have to come into the game for a second straight night. This new-look Yankee bullpen, which pretty much all these guys got off to an inauspicious start in a Yankee jersey, but all of a sudden, David Bednar looks a little bit more like his old self. Williams and Doval still trying to find it, clean their acts up in the back end of their bullpen. But Bednar just needs one out. The tying run is on deck. And Herrera takes one of those nasty curveballs. He pitched last night, Bednar, and all you saw was 76, 78, and then that heater ripping in about 20 miles an hour harder.
So impressive to watch him have such great command of his secondary pitches. He's a real pitcher in the ninth.
Came inside on Herrera, 1-1.
How hard is it to get up that quick?
It felt quick, right?
It was fast.
Not for closer type guys. They get up, they can get ready very quick.
Bednar had to tonight as Leiter ran into trouble. Herrera pops it up. Wells has it, and the Yankees have the series. They hold on. Bednar gets the one-out save. Back-to-back nights that he has finished off the game for the Yankees. And New York takes the series in a matchup of the two teams with the most World Series championships. 4 straight losses for St. Louis, back-to-back wins for the Yankees, and we'll update you on the standings and wrap it all up.